And there we are. We are live. It is Thursday, not Wednesday, but Thursday, the 1st of September. It is transfer deadline day here in the UK. And we are here to bring you up to date with what's going on, but also keep you informed on all the things that are happening around. I've got my phone here, so every time I get a little buzz in from one of the managers or the agents, we can keep you updated on what's happening. Sean, with me as ever. How are you, sir?
Oh, as ever, I'm with you. I'm not too bad. You touched on the fact it's Thursday, but actually it's still Wednesday because we've had a bank holiday Monday here in the UK, so
Yep.
technically still Wednesday.
Yeah.
We're going to play with it. We'll run with it.
It's one of those
certainly for me getting old,
It's one of those
my body
nice days,
clock's
though,
all out
isn't
of
it? One of those nice weeks where you don't have a hump day. Your hump day's sleep time on a Wednesday night.
For you, I had to work Monday, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I haven't worked at all this week, so actually my hump day's been every day because Mini Badge has been it. How are we, guys? Buckley Bellows, welcome in, my friend.
Welcome
Deal
in,
Breaker
man.
Jay, Matt, how are you, my friend? I hope you're well. Chelsea getting those deals over the line after Matt done his little chat with us. Obviously, Cucurella went through the door, and since then, Hudson-Odoi out the window.
I have a feeling, though, that Dealbreaker's account has been hacked by Fabrizio Romano because transfer confirmed. Ham lunch on loan to the Rabbit Lunch with option to buy £1.60. Here we go.
Nice. I like that.
Here we go.
I like that. Although the Rabbit
It's an
Lunch,
intro.
I mean, that's a little bit... Rabbit's a bit OTT for lunch, isn't it? Surely.
I think Rabbit Hutch.
Rabbit Hutch. Oh.
Ham lunch in the Rabbit Hutch.
Redeemed a fart. The farts don't work on here. The farts don't work on this one.
What? I thought you said you got it working.
No, that's on the old channel. But yeah, it's on the old thing, and for some reason they're not here. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let me see.
It's called Dealbreaker. I understood you. Welcome in, Jareen. Disappointing. Is it a disappointing fart or just disappointing? Watford forced to sell all their players to Udinese and loan them back for the season. Yeah, standard Buckley. Standard.
Yeah. Apologies, Doreen. It's not there. Because I took a lot of the stuff should have gone when we switched over to just doing the down the local stuff. So, but yeah, well, I mean, give me time. I'm on the Guinness cold brew, so there's every chance I'll be pumping out my own farts.
We're talking less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Although less than 5 minutes, I might even shit myself.
It's all right.
Watford forced
I've
to sell.
got me covered.
I love it. But so Buckley Bellows, Watford forced to sell their player back to Udinese, but
I need to fart, so if you want me to fart for you lot.
Hold on. Mini Badge is here with a fart.
Oh, it didn't come out.
Oh, she buckled under pressure. Out you go.
Hi fans, love you all. Just say I'm always here for you. DM me. See ya.
I mean, okay, so if any of you want to end up in jail, go for it.
She's now run downstairs to her stepmom going, did you hear me? Did you see me on there? Did you hear me? Bottled though, she cracked under the pressure. All she had to do was push out a fart and it went out the window. No, it didn't go out the window. It didn't go out anywhere. But so yeah, fairly happy with Chelsea's window. Lots of strong first team signings with some good young players. Only just found out on Sky Sports News, Abba might not be able to play until late October, early November. What? Because of injury?
Due to his partially broken jaw. Fucking pussy. No, he had his house burgled.
Oh, yeah, no, I did hear about that. Yeah.
And he ended up with a partially broken jaw. I don't know how you partially break a jaw, but
you just break part of it, maybe. I don't know, man.
I don't know. I mean, deal breaker. I think it's a strange window for me. I've just seen that you are on the verge of signing Dennis Zakaria. Carol Clark, welcome in. Yes. Dennis Zakaria in on loan from Juventus, who only joined them in January, which just blows my mind. Can't work my head around that one. But
no, I'm surprised by that. But they're making a massive uplift in transfer fee on him, aren't they? Because didn't they only pay like £9 million for him?
They didn't pay a lot. I think I think his contract was running down. I think he had
Yeah.
18 months left, so they got him on a bit of a deal.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why you buy a player, starts 4 or 5 league games, and then loan him out
Yeah. Wow.
when he was a regular for the club that you just signed him from. Typical Juventus, that is.
Yeah.
Typical Juventus.
But also Juve letting Artur go as well, potentially close to completing a loan move to Liverpool.
Yeah,
So
that as well. So
that's happening. I mean, well, we can talk about Artur for a minute because let's be fair, that is a swap deal that has not worked out for either player. Pjanic, a key player for Juve, goes to Barca and they end up loaning him out and he barely kicks a ball for him. Artur goes to Juve, so much expectation, done all right, but in patches.
yeah, it was interesting. I read a thing earlier on about Artur where they were saying that coaches have said that he won't play unless he's 100% in perfect condition.
No,
Which like some of, I'm not going to name names, but like certain players we know that pick up a slight niggle and they're out for half the season.
Yeah.
Basically not prepared to play through the pain barrier.
Yeah.
That's but it was like unconfirmed reports really. So I mean, for me, the worrying thing about that is everyone said that Artur, it's not working out at Juventus, yet it looks like they got the better part of the deal, as you say. I mean, Pjanic just done nothing at Barca.
Yeah.
Doesn't get played. Arguably, well, I mean, he is a superb centre midfielder. I don't know how he didn't get into that Barca team at Cantor, but yeah, Artur has looked good in fits and spats. It'd be nice to see him in the Premier League and see how he does.
It'll be interesting to see as well because if those reports are true, bearing in mind how quickly Klopp binned off Danny Sturridge because he would only play when he was 95, 100% fit and wouldn't play through the pain. If Artur's in the same sort of mindset, he ain't going to last long, which is maybe why Liverpool have just... I mean, when you get to a deadline day now, you see so many more loans with view to buy or with obligation to buy because the loan paperwork is so much quicker to get put through. So for people who aren't aware, you can get a loan deal done within an hour. It gets ratified, it's done, everyone's happy. And there are get out of jail free clauses within that as well a lot of the time, in terms of, if someone goes and then they do the medical and they fail the medical, they can then pull out the loan. It doesn't happen, but it's an option. If you buy someone, you bought them. We've seen, and you don't want to talk about it too much because it's horrific, but we saw that with Emiliano Sala going from Nantes to Cardiff. The deal was done, everything's agreed, payments made, medical's done, paperwork's ratified. He dies in a plane crash travelling over. Nantes say, you still owe us the money. And Cardiff kind of almost don't have a leg to stand on in the end. It just becomes an ongoing legal battle. So clubs will do that loan signing to try and guarantee that everything happens and they still have that little bit of control over it. So those last minute things, you'll see a lot more loans going through now than you will anything else. Hello, Karen Clark. Sorry, I know Sean pointed out you were there. I didn't say anything. And then Bucky, been worried we might lose João Pedro and Sarr in the transfer window. Well, Sarr, apparently, there's teams that have gone back in for him because I think he thought everyone was just going to bump up and pay what he wanted, and they didn't. And now he's shitting his pants about a season in the Championship.
Yeah, João Pedro, I think, has said that he's staying.
Today he's happy to stay.
Yeah, I think he said that he's staying. I don't know if there's ever been a serious bid put in from Newcastle. Looked at him, didn't they?
There was 2 teams put in bids.
Newcastle quickly went cold.
Yeah, I think, but they bid 20 million, and Watford said, "On your bike."
Yeah, and then Alexander Isak's available. We'll get him instead. Which I'm sorry, Buckley's a much better player.
Yeah.
And yeah, with Sarr, wasn't it Villa that had agreed? Yeah. They agreed a fee.
Yeah, everything was
done. And then broke down on personal terms.
Yeah, everything was done. He was at Villa. He had conversations, and then he decided his agent turned up for the meeting and demanded more money than was originally said that was going to be offered. Whether that was agent fees included within that deal that he wanted more from, I don't know. Gerrard apparently sat down and had a conversation with him, and then Gerrard apparently was the person who pulled the plug. So if that's the case, it seems bizarre because Villa are one of the teams that are rumoured to be back in today. and it seems a bit bizarre.
right.
If Gerrard has pulled the plug originally, why would he go back in again? Because he's already brought into question the players' attitude and that kind of thing. If he's saying, I want this. I know we said this, but now I've decided, I've spoken to my agent and I think I'm worth 3 times that.
Doesn't come down to the manager, does it? Half the time, it comes down to the people who work in the recruitment at the football club. You know, we see it time and time again when players arrive at clubs and the manager goes, "Don't really need him."
I think there's a difference at Villa. You see the impact. I mean, Gerrard, from a coaching point of view at the moment, seems completely clueless from Villa, but he's had direct impact in signing certain players. Coutinho was a phone call. He had a phone call conversation with Coutinho. Apparently, he flew to Marseille and had a meeting in a hotel himself with Boubacar Kamara to get him in. He done similar with Diego Carlos. He actually, so the players will get identified and then he goes out and specs them as are you the right player? Now, the Ismaila Sarr one is a bit of a confusing one from a Villa point of view because they're not really using wingers. The only winger they've really got left is Leon Bailey, who is very good still as a striker and can play wide. They've offloaded Bertrand Traore.
El Ghazi's gone as well.
El Ghazi has just signed for PSV. Trezeguet went back to Turkey in the window as well. So they've offloaded 3 wingers, which shows you Gerrard doesn't intend to use them. So it seems very Jadon Philogene Bidace as well has gone out on loan. So why are you looking at signing Ismaila Sarr? Because he's not better than Leon Bailey.
No.
But he's going to operate in the same sort of way. It's a confusing one. It is definitely a bit of a confusing one.
As you say, you don't know what phone calls being made, to the club, and as you say, these agents are getting involved. So there was something I wanted to bring up. So I've got the Manchester United Leicester game on my other screen, so I'll try my best to keep us updated on the scores in that one. But they spoke, so they had Brendan Rodgers on, talking to Rio Ferdinand, Robbie Savage, Owen Hargreaves, before the game, and he spoke about Wesley Fofana, and he says, everything that's been said, all that social media stuff, he goes, that wasn't from Wesley. He goes, I know the lad. He goes, I've worked with him. He's a really good kid. He goes, I'm not going to say who said what and all this lot, but he goes, I just know that's not from him. He goes, the way that things are being played out in the media, it's absolutely nothing to do with how I felt about it and how he felt about it. It just shows. I think days like today, all this transfer stuff, we just don't know. We only see players going from one club to the other, and we see the amount of money being spent, and that's kind of all the information we get. Yeah. We don't realise that there's people being tapped up. There's phone calls in the background and stuff. We talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, who's obviously due to stay at Manchester United, but he's been desperate to leave ever since the end of last season, apparently.
Yeah. As soon as they weren't going to get Champions League.
Yeah, apparently, but doesn't. I mean, he never looked that bothered, really, to me. I think once again that's an agent going out there and trying to earn himself a bit of crust, really, more than anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think we're sort of saying about games as well, and I find it really bizarre because it's unusual to have on transfer deadline day a Premier League game.
Yeah,
really bizarre. Really bizarre.
Yeah, especially for once again 2 teams that are active in the transfer market, and actually could do with with players as well that don't want to potentially be playing tonight and doing themselves out of a deal. So
and I think obviously the Fofana deal, it dragged on and 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 on. It seemed like a done deal and on and on. It seemed like it was done about 2-3 weeks ago, and we all knew it was going to be around 70 million quid, and Fofana was happy to go, and Leicester were happy to accept, and it just seemed to drag on for a long period of time. But you can tell that they always knew it was happening because within seconds they signed Wout Rice from Ring, and straight away, literally Fofana signed. Oh, and by the way, we got this guy to replace him. And it was happening. That was just waiting,
I'm sure once again that's part of the conversation, isn't it? It
Yeah.
also sounded a bit as well that we'll pick up on Deal Breaker's point, but you know that you know Leicester said we want this much. Oh, okay, well we'll bid 50. No,
Yeah.
we want this much. What about 60? No, we want this much. Oh, I'll go on then. You know, and it was one of those, and that's why it dragged on. So,
Yeah.
but you know, I
It was the
like the
same as
fact
the
that Leicester were
Maguire
like,
deal.
no, this is the price, and that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I respect that.
Always going to end up at Man United. I think, you know, in hindsight, Chelsea may have a slightly better deal out of that, but we'll see. We'll see. Fofana looked very good last year, but was injured the year before. He's had injury problems, you know, and he's only 21.
Leg break as well. So
Yeah, only 21. So you hope that's never going to come back and bite him in the arse. But deal breaker, yeah. Remember when we got done for tapping up Ashley Cole many years ago? But it seems to be everyone these days, and not even hidden. No, and I think
exactly.
I think the tapping up. I think the problem was back in the day when there wasn't endless amounts of stuff social media wise. It was a lot easier to hide. Whereas now,
I don't think there wasn't agents as much back then as well. Like I don't know whether I'm
they were
being
just
old and
coming into.
cantankerous, but
I think
you
they were
know,
coming into play more. But I think also, you know, now you get someone at a club, it's easy to just leak it to a friend who can then put it all over Facebook. You know, back in the day, you'd have to, if you were going to leak something, you'd have to leak it to a newspaper, and then it's traceable, and then it starts to become traceable. So important game in 8 minutes. We can win we still over Liverpool because they are. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, Melgard. We'll see. I think that's I think that's just standard fickle football behaviour, isn't it? You know, we get absolutely tonked in 2 games, win 2 games, and now we're going to win the league. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sold. Sold.
No, I agree.
But yeah, it'd be good to finish about Liverpool. Yeah, I'd like that.
Yes. No, yeah. I think
Especially off that jammy goal last night. Oh, what was that about?
The last one, the ball just stayed in the air, and then somehow Carvalho managed to swing a leg high enough.
Yeah,
it's a good finish from close in, but and so disappointing. Isaac's second goal got disallowed for offside because what a goal! People were questioning whether he's gonna be good enough, but it's sarcasm. We know Melgard, don't worry.
Don't worry, mate. Don't worry.
Anyone who says Man U's going to win the league are either really, really deluded or it's sarcasm.
Yep.
So so people questioning the signing of Isaac, and I know it's like 60 million quid, which is a lot of money for a guy who's 23 and been good for a year, 2 years. But then Darwin Núñez. People, no one has questioned. Well, some people have questioned it, but a lot of fans have gone, he was fantastic last year. But he's playing in the Portuguese league for a team that's romping. Alexander Isak was good last year for a team that struggled in the in the Liga. So I think he'll do well for Newcastle. He looked like a good fit straight away yesterday. At one point, I watched some of the highlights. I saw Ryan Fraser, and I thought they'd signed Shaqiri. I didn't realise how much Ryan Fraser is the spitting image from behind of Xherdan Shaqiri. So
a little squat lad, isn't he?
That confused me. And then I then realised that I was like, well, why is he playing? Obviously because he's an Eddie Howe favourite from Bournemouth, but also St Maximin was crocked, wasn't he? So
which is a shame. Yeah, because I say that kind of took a bit of gloss off of that game, to be fair. But he's at very good. I was absolutely shocked. I mean, I caught the last sort of half an hour of the game last night, and they gave him man of the match, and he came off in about the 70th minute.
Earlier than that, wasn't it? It was 60 something, I think. But
how on earth can you give him man of the match? Some of the defensive performances from Newcastle, and I mean, Joe Linton was class. I thought I can't work out Joe Linton.
No,
like that's a football mystery. What is Joe Linton? No, what is he? Just what is he?
Yeah, I mean,
I can't get my head around it.
No, he does not have a position.
No, maybe he's like a box-to-box footballer. He just runs around a lot. He just runs around. He's a big lad, and he kicks people, and he gets his bonce on a few things. I can't work him out. I don't know what he is. I just can't. Yeah, can't comprehend it.
Apparently, Dan James is having a medical at Fulham.
Yeah, loan move. I mean, that's pretty funny, isn't it? How on earth that lad still get a gig in the Premiership? Can't
But
work it out.
He's well,
Can't
apart
work
from
out.
he's not able to shoot, but he's mustered.
Running quick.
Yeah, running quick and for Wales.
Yeah, but it's international football, isn't it?
And I've just
I think if you
seen
can run quick at international football, you look quite good.
Michy Batshuayi signing for Forest.
Is he really? Oh, that's great.
Deal is almost done.
I was thinking about him today. I was like, where's he getting a gig now? I was going to Google him before the show and I forgot.
Still at Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, the picture of him in a Chelsea shirt is that old that he stood next to Zuma.
Wow. Wow. Went full Owen Wilson on you. Wow.
Wow. But yeah, so Batshuayi apparently on his way to Nottingham Forest to be Nottingham Forest, 17th signing of the summer? Something like that.
20th. I think that's a 20th signing.
20th.
Well in bats, legend.
Because he's leaving Chelsea. Love it.
Is it a loan? It's a loan move, surely.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, it says deal almost done. He'll be back. He might not be. I don't know how long he's got left on his contract. But
that's ridiculous.
So apparently Leicester have been in for and trying to sign Atalanta as Jeremy Berger, but apparently that looks as though it's sort of fading and dropping off now. Time running out, and I'm guessing he's not overly keen either, because if he was keen, time doesn't matter. You'd make it happen. And I also saw Leicester signing the perennial championship goalkeeper Alex Smithies, who was a Football Manager goalkeeping youngster legend about 15 years ago in one of the early FMs. Yep. He's been bouncing around a championship for however many years, but has signed for Leicester to be their backup.
Yeah. Bizarre.
What do they want? A third? Like they've got Daka and Iheanacho. Bogger's more of a winger, but I get what you mean.
Player.
He's a forward who doesn't score many goals. So I think Daka's more of a direct replacement for Vardy. Iheanacho's just, I'm not sure. Iheanacho goes through fits and starts of goals, but I still have lots of doubts and questions about Iheanacho.
Me too. Once again, just one of those pick up player of the month, and then you just will do nothing for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
just one at t'other with him.
And some news that's coming through at the moment, and this is really bizarre. So, obviously, Villa are looking at the moment at signing Jan Bedrenak from Southampton. That's apparently a loan deal they're trying to get done, obviously after the injury to Diego Carlos. And Southampton apparently have got an agreement in place for a permanent move for Marseille's defender, Jouet Kaletakar.
Yep.
Who I think is probably a better footballing defender than Bednarak.
Yep.
So why the hell are Villa not signing him and leaving Bednarak alone? That beggars belief. Especially the way
but Jack Stevens left Southampton as well, so I think that they've got. I think they need more reinforcements, arguably there. So he's going to get more of a gig there. I mean, you say Diego Carlos is arguably your first choice centre back. You then go out. You go and, if you're trying to buy a player, he's going to go, well, what's going to happen when he comes back? And you're like, you're maybe going to have to, sit down a bit.
I don't think that's the case. I think they wanted another centre back anyway because they weren't convinced by Chambers, Konsa, or Mings. Although that's Steven Gerrard not convinced, and at the moment a lot of Villa fans not convinced by Steven Gerrard. Someone said the other day there's no plan B, and I saw someone in comment saying, "Fuck off, there's no plan A." So, which kind of shows you where it's at the moment. And apparently Artur has been spotted. He is at Liverpool's training ground. So you
Yeah.
can get those flights from Italy pretty rapid nowadays.
Yeah, that's pretty cushy, that. That
Uh,
ain't bad, is it? I
that's
mean,
not
what's that?
hour and a half,
3
2
hours?
hours. Yeah. Apparently, you want it
But-
done, you get on a plane, you go. No messing around.
Oh.
One that's dropping out of the Premier League, Martin Kelly, former
Oh,
Liverpool
yeah.
Palace defender, has been floating around for years. Has just signed for West Brom. I don't think he's played a game for about 3 years. I think he's pretty much
No.
been crocked, and Joel Ward's
He's
been
been gone a
playing.
while, yeah.
Yeah,
I was going
and
to say, yeah.
Joel
Yeah.
Ward's added space. So Martin Kelly, good luck to you, mate. Because if Joel Ward's taking your place, son.
Yeah. You're probably in the best place, West Brom.
Yeah. And there are images of Zachariah rocking up at Chelsea's training complex.
Yeah.
An
Once again,
interesting-
just another bizarre deal that Chelsea seem to be linked with. I can't get my head around a lot of them at the minute.
No.
I don't. None of them really make sense. But hey, it is what it is.
Outside of
It
the
is what it
Prem,
is.
confirmation that Carlos Soler has signed for PSG.
Yep.
And breaking news, guys. Just to confirm. Breaking news. Let's see if this works. There it is. Leander
Incoming.
Dendoncker has confirmed signing for Villa. Confirmed,
Good move.
done and gone through. 12 million quid. I think it's a...
Good deal. Like it. Good deal.
I'm kind of... I don't know how to... Because Dendoncker has done well for Wolves. Gets a regular game, or gets into the Belgian squad on a regular basis. I don't see what he adds to Villa in the way Steven Gerrard wants to play. He won't play him at centre back. Well, he might do, but then that's a worry. But he won't play it, so I can't see him playing him at centre back. He ain't going to leave Wolves, where he's a regularish starter, to go and sit on the bench behind Boubacar Kamara. But he's not an 8. He's not a centre midfielder like John McGinn or Jacob Ramsey, or maybe even a Douglas Luiz. So if they do sell Douglas Luiz, if he does go to Arsenal and that deal can get done, you've got Jacob Ramsey and John McGinn, who neither of them have played well so far, and Leander Dendoncker. So I'm very confused at what he's thinking. And yeah, Steven Gerrard will be gone soon. And the way things are going at the moment, I can imagine Steven Gerrard walking out the door going, ha ha, always hated Villa. Because
I don't think so. I think he was a naive appointment. Well, won the league with Rangers, playing one brand of football that anyone who watched a Rangers game knew what you were going to get.
Yeah.
It was a team that were going to dominate. Never really done anything in Europe because of that.
Yeah.
And you're going into a team which, progressive, want to finish in the top half of the table, want to be pushing for those European places, but frankly, Villa just haven't got the quality.
No.
Frankly, to go out there and dominate games.
No.
And the one game this season where they were able to do it against Everton, I believe it was.
Yeah, they still nearly bottled it. But still nearly bottled the game.
Yeah, still nearly bottled it, as you say, and that's by far their best showing so far this season. Looked pretty decent, to be fair, for the first 10 minutes against Arsenal last night.
Yeah.
It was a really good game of football, that first 10 minutes. But as soon as Arsenal broke them down, that was it.
I tell you,
there's only ever going to be one winner.
Watching that, so I watched that game last night, and Emi Martinez, the 2 goals conceded, he should have done much better. But he's also made 3 very, very good saves.
Unreal saves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that first
Really
one as well, that's like where he's flopped it out into... he's just flopped it out into Jesus. That's taken a deflection at quite a speed. What's he supposed to do? They're going, he should have caught it. But he's going that way, and then the ball's gone back again, so he's tried to sort of adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you could blame him. I don't think that was fair to blame him for the first one, but yeah, should done better really for second.
And then he flops it out.
Exactly.
And apparently, old Mwes or whatever they are, Edens and Suarez are already sounding out Graham Potter as a replacement. Graham Potter, a Villa fan. I mean, Villa are in worse shape now. Steven Gerrard's come in, he's signed players. The name has brought players in.
Yeah.
Biggish
Agreed,
name
yeah.
players that Villa may not have been able to get without him. But, I mean, if you can't get him to do what you then want him to do, because what you're trying to do is either over complex or just doesn't work, where's the freaking point? Apparently Villa are sounding out Graham Potter at the moment. It'll be interesting to see. I think the problem Steven Gerrard's got is just Arsenal, Man City, and then someone else, maybe Liverpool or someone else after. I think they've got 3 tough games. And, 19th in the table, in a few weeks' time, Villa could be bottom of the table. And they've beaten Everton, who were crap, and they've got beat by Bournemouth, who at the moment, arguably, are the only team who have looked worse, but have still got more points.
Yeah. It's worrying. At the same time, I think the issue is what you look at last season as well, and Gerrard didn't do anything really with that Villa squad.
No.
And you're thinking, okay, give him a summer. Let him
get his players in.
He's had time to bed in. Treat the end of last season as a bit of a pre-season.
Yeah.
Get some recruits in, go again, and and hit the ground running this season. And it's just not happened, and it just doesn't even look like it's going to happen. So, but at the same time, you have got to give him time. Look at Scotty Parker going at Bournemouth. It's ridiculous.
Why he left Fulham to go there was ridiculous.
Yeah, I just don't agree with that. I know that there was certain things said and whatnot, but
being sacked, you mean? Why he's been sacked from Bournemouth?
Yeah, why he's been sacked, but you can't. Yeah, I suppose on a football terms, you can't sack someone after 4 games or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So 3 games, something like that. So it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. It's been a start. I mean, people have made a big thing about it's August and it's the Haaland's got the most goals ever scored in August. We started 2 weeks early in the Prem.
So what?
I did see the interesting fact was he scored more goals in August this year than Harry Kane has scored in August in his whole career. Which is
Harry Kane's notoriously a late starter.
He is. He's a bloomer. He always comes in half cocked.
He's just just thumbing in a softie.
But but I like some of the deals that Fulham have been wedging through last minute. Obviously, I'm not so keen on the Dan James one, but Lavinkazawa going in from PSG on loan, not the player he was 2-3 years ago, but will still be a solid fullback for Fulham. And picking up Willian on a free as well, 34 years old, but the guy's a winner. He's got the right mentality. He's still technically going to be very good. Picking him up on a free transfer, I think, could be a very good deal.
It could be shrewd. Very shrewd. I think as well, he's been training with Fulham for the last 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
So they've been training with him for a while, and they've had a good look at him and said, this lad could still do a bit.
They were also waiting for his contract to be confirmed as cancelled at Corinthians as well, weren't they? So, I think Man City signing Manuel Akanji is a very good signing. 15 million. I don't think they need him.
That's what I mean. That's the bit that blows my mind is, so Chelsea had just paid 80 million for Fofana.
Yeah.
And Man City go, Kanji, 15 million. Yeah, all right, mate. And off he goes. Like, what? How? Like, what? How has this happened? How is a player of Manuel Akanji going to Man City for 15 million? That's ridiculous. Redonkulous even.
Yeah. I mean,
ridiculous.
I genuinely thought Akanji was younger. I thought he was younger than he is. He's 27. But even so, 15 million quid.
20. That's what I mean. You still got, a good 6-7 seasons out of him.
Yeah, exactly. If at Man City, he's still got another 30-40 games in him.
Yeah.
Because he ain't going to displace Laporte or Diaz if they're fit. He's then in a battle with Stones
And Ake.
And Ake's still there. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously Anthony signing for Man United, 86 million. Do you know what? Actually, instead of doing these bit by bit, shall we go through quick club by club? Let's do a quick club by club.
Go on then. Go on then, real quick.
Because what we've had is obviously we were doing the I would if I could. We've had the. It's not there. Bizarre. Let's try and find it. Idrissa Gueye has returned to Everton from PSG. No, do you know what? I did see that for a nominal fee, which I can't believe no one else went in. Genuinely cannot believe no one else has gone in.
Yeah, cracking player.
Yeah, really good player. Was when Villa got relegated and he was there. He was by far and away Villa's best player that season, but stupid recruitment by Villa meant that he got to go for like £250,000 or something dickish. But yeah, so I'm sorry. Apologies. I was on Sky Sports earlier and I had up the all transfers by clubs and now it is not there. So I'm just gonna go somewhere else and find it. There we go. Trusty BBC. Surely they'll have it. You'd think, maybe.
I don't know. You can't trust the Beeb. Can't trust the Beeb.
No, I know. I'm putting a lot of faith in people. No, bollocks to them. I'll be there for ages trying to find out. Apparently, BT Sport are now calling themselves the heart of football. Not just the home of football, the heart of football.
The what? The heart of football?
Yeah, allegedly so.
The heart of football.
Heart
of football with Owen Hargreaves there. Jesus Christ. That's a cardiac arrest waiting to happen.
So yeah, what
so every other kind of condition.
That's true, yeah. While I try and find this, talk us through the Anthony signing for Manchester United. Being a Man United follower, fan.
I'll talk you through it. So he used to play for Ajax.
Yep.
Eric Ten Hag was also the manager at Ajax. And then we offered a load of money. They said, no, thank you. They said, give us a bit more. We said, So we gave them a bit more. They went, maybe a bit more. And we'd go, all right, and a bit more. And then he said that it was his dream to play for Man United. Something like that. That's there you go. I've talked you through it. Job's are good and have your cake and eat it, mate. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. It's been summed up nicely as he is a Man United player. He will get players. He'll get fans off of their seats. He's one of those players. Really tricky, really, technical, gifted player. But we've already got one of those in Jadon Sancho. So I don't really understand why we're spending, as much as we are on another one of him. He's not going to play as a striker, so it's not in competition with Ronaldo or Martial. So I don't know. I can't really.
It's another player that's gonna be someone you've already got.
Yeah,
basically.
We've got Elanga.
We
got Elanga. Martial. Say Ronaldo.
Sancho, yeah.
Say all these players. And I understand what Ten Hag's saying. Listen, we got due to the World Cup, there's games every 3 to 4 days, pretty much, for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
So you need more attacking players because they're the ones that burn out quicker because they run more. I get that, but you got youth players. You got that Garnacho, who's come on a few times and looked sprightly, looks really good.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him involved a little bit more, probably more than Langer, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Anthony, I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on it. But it might work out well. Who knows? It just you hope it does for that sort of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not bringing anything new to the club.
No. Cool. What we'll do, Sean? Just to we'll keep this we'll keep this going good. And also people in the chat who are knocking around still. What I want you to do is while we go through, we'll talk about each club very briefly, a quick overview of each club's transfer window, who they've brought in, who they've got rid of, and we'll give it a GCSE score between an A
Ooh.
star and a G, or maybe even an ungraded if they're really, really shit.
Okay, all right, we can do that.
So
We can do that.
Bournemouth, AFC Bournemouth, because it's stupid and they go first. So far, brought in Ryan Fredericks on a free transfer from West Ham, who spent the last 2.5 years injured. Joe Rothwell, who looked good for Blackburn last year, but is a championship player, never played any higher. Marcus Tavernier, who genuinely, when they were trying to sign him, I thought they were going for the fullback at Rangers, and it turned out to be his brother, who has been at Middlesbrough for years and never done anything. Neto, who has been backup goalkeeper at Barcelona for 4 years, but arguably one of the best backup goalkeepers in world football, but still a backup goalkeeper for 4 years. Marcos Senesi from Feyenoord. And then today they have brought in Jack Stevens from Southampton. Out of the door, Gary Cahill. And then after that, no one you would ever know because they're all youngsters.
Okay.
Where are we going? What are we saying about Bournemouth? Obviously, we had Magnus Sam on, and he said, we need centre-backs. We need centre-backs big time. They've brought in Marcos Senesi. No, I think there was a desperate need. They've brought in Marcos Senesi, and they've brought in Jack Stevens as centre-backs. So it will give them options. I mean, defensively, you could tell they were struggling because they conceded 9 goals to Liverpool, who at that point hadn't won a Premier League game.
Yeah, that's worrying times, isn't it?
Yeah. Where are we going with Bournemouth? What are we giving them?
We'll give them a C plus, I think.
A C plus.
We'll give them a C plus because the plus is for effort. At least you tried. At least you tried. You needed centre back, so you brought 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well done for trying.
Yeah.
You haven't brought any good ones, but at least you tried.
You've brought some. Yeah.
As I say, I think. Go on.
I was going to say, you've brought 2 in who have got top level experience. I mean, Senesi would have played Champions League football, Europa League football with Feyenoord. Jack Stevens has played a lot of games in the Premier League for Southampton, albeit most of the time as a backup, but he still played a lot of games. I think Joe Rothwell, the problem with Joe Rothwell is he's like 27, 28 already, and he's not played in the Prem. Had he not been a free transfer, would Bournemouth have picked him up? Probably not. No. Marcus Tavernier, meh. Neto is a decent...
I say Neto's a good signing. I think Jack Stevens is a good signing. Says, your man Feyenoord, Sinister. It's a good signing. Just the rest are a little bit dross, aren't they? Yeah. And you sort of go, you've cancelled out all your good work with the shit work, really.
Yeah. You've brought in 3 decent players that will improve you, and you've brought in 3 players who are just going to add to what you've already got, which is a championship team.
Bodies.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you know what? For the experience level, I would have kept Gary Cahill around for a season. I do not understand the release of that. It just makes no sense to me. Cool. C plus. Arsenal. So obviously we had Ahmed Dan on. He done his little bit with Arsenal. Zinchenko, technically the best player in the world ever. Not his words, but words he heard from someone at Man City. I'm not going to lie. The first couple of games he played at left back, he looked like a freaking baller. And now he's injured.
Keeping Tierney out of the team. Yeah,
and now he's injured and Tierney's back in, and Tierney looked quite good yesterday, which means Zinchenko's going to struggle. Yeah, so, luckily they've got 2 fullbacks who spend half their time injured. So long as they can coincide their injury and recovery with each other, they'll be fine. But you said originally Gabriel Jesus, I said would be a fantastic signing, ideal for Arsenal. You said you genuinely felt he could be the signing of the summer.
And I'd still say it.
Yeah, he certainly is filling that void at the moment, or filling that void that they've had.
Do you know what? I'm almost pained to say, but I actually enjoy watching Arsenal now purely because of him. When he's on the ball, he looks so good.
Yeah.
So good. Just there's a few times last night, and I'd say every game I've seen him playing, he's just danced through players. It's just so technically gifted. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's great to watch.
I'm loving that forward 3 that they've got. The fact that they've kept Saka in there and binned off Pepe. But I'm loving that Martinelli is getting regular game time because I like him a lot.
He is class.
And Odegaard at the
Absolute
moment
class.
looks like Odegaard looks like the baller everyone expected him to be 5 years ago.
Yeah, when we all signed him for when we were playing on FM,
as a 15-year-old from wherever
Yep.
he was in Norway, and we all picked
Yep.
him up from Oslo or wherever it was, Viking or something like that. Yeah,
and he's a freaking baller. Now starting to look at no,
Obviously-
absolute class. Him, I mean the players are brought in. I'm superb, absolutely superb. Got to take your hats off to him.
You got a youngster Marquinhos as well. They brought in Fabio Vieira, who's barely kicked a ball for him yet, if at all. And Matt Turner, the young American backup goalkeeper. So I think their incomings are fantastic, but I think their outgoings are almost as good. So there's obviously with Arsenal, shed loads of youngsters have been released and gone out on loan, but Guendouzi, 10 million quid to Marseille. Great deal.
What a deal.
Yeah. They then got Nuno Tavares out on loan to Marseille because in patches last season looked alright at left back, but needed more game time, and Arsenal just weren't in a position to give it to him. They could not afford to run the risk. So he's going out to get game time in what can be described as a B League. You've got Ben Leno. Days were done at Arsenal as soon as they signed Ramsdale. Florian Balogun out to Reims to play in the top division in France now. Give him.
Sorry,
game
just
time.
to interrupt you. It has been a goal in the Leicester Man United game. It's Sancho has just put Man United 1-0 up. Obviously, just waiting for the goal to be confirmed.
Right,
I just saw he just rounded the keeper and rolled it in. So, but I'm just obviously waiting to see how the goal was built up and if it would be goal. Come back to me, Jeff.
Come back to me. Yeah, cool. Okay. Who else did they get rid of? Charlie Patino, loads of people loving him out of Blackpool. Obviously, Lucas Torreira didn't want to be there anymore, was homesick, so he's gone further away from home to Galatasaray in Turkey. Pablo Mari, who just wasn't going to play again for him, gone to Monza.
Yeah, it wasn't quite good enough.
No. That dreadful goalkeeper they signed, Runarsson, has gone to Turkey as well. And getting Nicolas Pepe out to Nice on loan.
Oh, that is the best outgoing.
Yeah.
Of the transfer window. We talked about Jesus being the best ingoing.
Yeah.
Pepe going, albeit on loan, is by far the best outgoing because he is awful.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, awful.
Yeah.
And just quick update: the goal did stand. Sorry, they were checking a tight offside.
Fair enough. So give them a score. Score for the Arsenal.
Gonna go, go with an A. Not quite an A plus, but an A. It's close, but it's an A.
If they can get that Douglas Luiz deal through, does that move it to an A plus?
A plus, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. Once again, that's about the only place where they look a little bit sus. That centre midfield they could just do. I mean, because I'm not convinced with Xhaka, and I don't think anyone is. If they could get just a really, really class, deep lying centre midfielder.
Yeah. Sambi Lokonga.
I
mean, Sambi Lokonga played yesterday, but obviously Partey's crocked. Someone else in the midfield is crocked as well. I can't remember who it was.
El Neni.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. So Partey's crocked. So Douglas Luiz would be that ideal fill-in, wouldn't he? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Definitely.
So we move on to Villa. So incomings, obviously Philippe Coutinho made his deal permanent. Boubacar Kamara, 17 million quid, which was half the amount that was apparently agreed originally. Boubacar Kamara on a free transfer. Diego Carlos, 28 million. Robin Olsen for, I think, 2.5 million. Rory Wilson from Rangers, youngster for minimal. Ludwig Augustinsson on loan from Sevilla. And today, obviously, the confirmation so far of Leander Dendoncker for 12 million. Outgoings, Matt Target for 15. Conor Hourihane, who wasn't there. Kalinic, who wasn't there. Trezeguet out to Trabzonspor. A load of youngsters out on loan. Wesley back out on loan again to Levante. Carney Chukwuemeka, 20 million to Chelsea. Youngsters. Keenan Davis to Watford on loan. Bertrand Traore. Courtney House has gone to Watford. El Ghazi to PSV. And a couple of other loans from youngsters. Lots going out the door. A few coming in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, looks pretty even. I think in that respect, you could see, like we talked about earlier, Gerrard moved on the players that weren't going to fit into what he wanted, and he's tried to bring in players that would fit in. Emphasis on the word "try."
Yeah. I think there's almost the Coutinho thing. There's too much of an attachment. Watching him play the last few times, he's not the player he was 5 years ago at Liverpool.
No,
that zip's
agreed.
gone. He went to Bayern Munich. It looked right there, but he's playing for a team that dominates possession all the time. He suits a team that's dominating. He doesn't suit a team that's got to work to get the ball. Honestly, in that setup, you'd rather see an Emi Buendia, who will work for the team. And I think there's no doubt in that ability and that level of football intelligence is still there for Coutinho, but I just don't think the legs are.
No, yeah, I agree, and yeah, I think there's a certain element of attachment, as you say. That kind of personal connection with having played with Gerrard.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as I say, looking at the way that Villa has started, it could be Gerrard's downfall. I think is that he's putting too much trust in players who are just not going to deliver what the team needs.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I think, do you know what? I'm watching. I don't know if it's a coaching thing or what's being asked of him, but Luca Digne, when he first signed for Villa, I thought, what a signing. But he has looked. He's basically at the
Suspect,
moment. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, why did we get rid of Matt Target?
It was class last night as well. Yeah, again, absolutely class for Newcastle.
Yeah, again, and I think, do you know what? I genuinely, if it is Gerrard and what Gerrard's asking, I think the problem, as we said, there's a reason that James Tavernier played right back for Rangers and scored 17 goals in a season. It's because the fullbacks just went forward all the time.
And the teams didn't have to worry about defending.
Yeah, the teams they played against weren't up to countering them quick enough. Whereas Villa, he's telling the fullbacks to go so far forward that actually Matty Cash and Digne are both looking just a little bit ropey. And Matty Cash was arguably, he's gone to play for Poland because everyone was saying, why is he not even getting a shout or even in the talk for England positions?
Yeah. And
he's like, well, hold on, I've got a Polish ball sack. I can go and play for them. So, well, I've just polished my ball sack. That's Polish. I'll have that. I once went in the Polish supermarket in Birmingham. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I've got a membership at the Polish club. Yeah, there we go.
Some sauerkraut, Polish sauerkraut. So yeah, it is that. It just makes you wonder whether what he's asking of them is just too much for them to do, and they get caught out because teams counter quickly and they look too high up the pitch, and then they're chasing back and making rash tackles. Yeah, it is really bizarre.
No, agreed. Yeah, so as you say, there's some real good in there. I mean, I think the biggest bit of good obviously been done with the unfortunate injury to Diego Carlos.
Yeah.
Getting your man in Kamara, Boubacar Kamara, class signing and for very little money. I think Manchester United were looking at him early in the window for upwards of 40 million. You managed to snap him for 17.
No, Boubacar Kamara, free transfer.
Oh, okay, sorry. But anyways, I know Manchester United were looking at him. That was obviously, beginning of last season or January.
Yeah.
So a lot of good there. Just, and it's when you look at that window, for me, on paper you're giving it a B. maybe B minus. But it's unfortunately, it's just is the coach getting it out of the players or the coaching staff at the minute? I don't think so.
No, and I think that's the biggest issue. I think I think the players that have come in, it's a B plus. The performances they're doing, it's a B minus, maybe even a C plus, because they've not improved. Those players have come in and the team hasn't improved. So
yeah, I think as well. You need a goal scorer. I'm not convinced. Danny Ings just hasn't worked out. I don't know. They're just not getting the best out of him.
no,
Once again, coaching staff. I don't know. Ollie Watkins is never going to score you many goals to get you to where you want to go. And that just doesn't. Yeah. Then you're looking around at your likes your Wendy's and your Coutinho's and your Baileys, and they're going to get you goals in fits and spats. But none of them are going to consistently hit double figures.
No. And I think I put a tweet out yesterday. Let's start the discussions around transfer deadline day with Villa will not sign the elite striker Gerrard keeps saying they're going to, and Everton will sign a player who pay over the odds for a player who was good 3 years ago. At the moment, what they've done is they've signed a player who was good 3 years ago for not over the odds, and actually has looked tidy recently as well. So
exactly. Do you know what I say? And at this point, if Aston Villa had cashed in on Watkins, and even if you went and got that Morelos from Rangers, I'd have said that was a good bit of business at this point, because at least he's going to offer you something up front.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone in behind. And do you know what? Neil Maupay signing for Everton. Villa were all over him a couple of years ago. Didn't get him. Do you know what?
Yeah,
he's a goal scorer.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep up to date with transfers that are going through at the moment. Billy Gilmore, 10 million quid to Brighton.
Yeah, I think that was a deal that was always gonna.
Yeah, he was always
going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was always on the way out.
He was told, had enough of him at Chelsea. So, yes, that's no surprise.
And I'd say didn't set the world alight in Norwich last year. He barely even lit a match.
There was no sparks coming off that, mate. That's for sure.
No.
Yeah.
Apparently, Artur's deal to go to Liverpool will not include an option to buy.
No, I think because Juventus are trying to place him in the shop window, basically.
Yeah.
And they're gambling that he does well at Liverpool, and then they'll cash in on him in the summer. It's very unlikely, but yes. Wishful thinkings.
Yep. Serginho Dest confirmed as an AC Milan player on loan from Barca.
Surprising one, that one. But
yeah, lots of teams were looking.
Look good at Barca.
Yeah.
Why are you letting him go?
Yeah.
And to be fair, how did I saw Barca were able to play Jules Koundé at the weekend? How was that allowed?
Well, because they're Barcelona, mate.
There we go. Thank you for clearing that up, Neil.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Apparently, Arsenal have upped their bid for Douglas Luiz to 23 million plus £2 million in add-ons. Villa are still holding out for 30.
I'll take the money.
Contract is up at the end of the season, and he doesn't want to be there. So, 2 seconds, because I need a tinkle. So, give an update on the game, Sean, and what's going on there, my man.
I'll do my best. I will do my best. Yeah, all Man United, to be fair, from what I've seen. It's been doing all right, but yeah, it's all Man United. It's been Man United's game to lose this one, I'm afraid. So, Ali, fan of MJ, welcome in. Thoughts on Artur Melo at Liverpool? Will Klopp leave Liverpool? She leaves after 7 years. Klopp won't leave Liverpool. Liverpool will leave Klopp. I can't see that happening at all. No chance. Not on your Nelly, mate, I'm afraid. We were talking about Artur earlier and just saying that he will resign. Wishful thinking, I'm afraid, my friend. The Artur is a bit of concern. I follow Juventus, quite closely, and it's not. Nothing's happened. Nothing's really happened for him there at Juventus since leaving from Barcelona. So I can't see him doing anything at Liverpool. I just don't think he's the right player for what they need. The board don't back him. Is it Dortmund? They back him. They quite clearly back him. And I'm a Roma fan, and you follow Roma and Inter. That's a really bizarre mix of teams to follow. And yeah, but Roma, what a window they've had. Have they confirmed Belotti yet? Can you update us on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's
Inter
done.
because of Jose Mourinho. Okay, right.
But
Belotti.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Belotti's done.
Really?
Yeah.
So they had to move on players to register him. So
yeah. And talking of bizarre Barcelona shizzle, they've just re-signed Hector Bellerin on a free transfer.
I saw that one. Yeah. Although, so there's a because Arsenal agreed to terminate his contract so he could join Barca, but they have a sell-on percentage on if he.
So they've not terminated his contract. Basically, what they've said is we will not pay you anymore. We will not give any of your bonuses. Everything is ceasing as it stands at the moment. So you can sign for Barca, but you're going on a free transfer. You negotiate everything with them. Make sure you're happy, and we take a chunk of money if they sell you. Yeah. It's no different to what Spurs done with Dele Alli. In the off chance that all of a sudden you're good again, we want to get something out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Oh, hello. I've just cleared the screen. I wasn't meant to do that.
Oops.
So, Villa, we gave them a B+. We move on. We got Brentford. So, Brentford, Aaron Hickey, Keane Lewis Potter, Thomas Strakowska, Yahoo Yarmuluk, Matthias Jorgensen. But, obviously, we had Goofy on. He was very upset about the way that Ericsson left and moved on and said we need to replace him. The person he said we should go and get was Mikael Damsgaard. Mikael Damsgaard went in. Good window for Brentford. I mean, looking at the outgoings, no one of note, really, apart from Ericsson.
I think it's been another good window. Yeah. I think that Brentford got they were criticised a bit, going into last season. They've just come up and they've not really strengthened.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of went, "Yep, you are going to Snake Town. You're going straight back down, mother sucker." And do you know what? We're brilliant. They done what I think a lot of teams should do when you come up into this league, and that is just stick together.
Yeah.
Just play as a team.
Yeah.
And when you play in teams, if you get used to the way the players play around you, it's so much easier for you, for that team cohesive unit to operate. And that's what they did last season. Added a few players in. They brought in that Christopher Ayer, didn't they, last season?
Yeah.
A couple of players, but they didn't go, full on rebuild job.
No, didn't go full. Didn't go full Fulham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or not Forest. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Have they signed another 5 players yet? Have we had nothing?
We'll get to Forest in a minute. We'll see.
I mean, well, to be fair, Neil, I might go to bed, mate, because by the time you've read off all of those Forest signings, mate, we can throw it going through till 3 a.m. But yeah, with Brentford, I think Aaron Hickey's a class player, absolute class. Seeing him play day before, right back with Rico Henry, left back, superb. I think they've had a really good window, to be honest. Yeah, class, absolute class. I'd give them B+ as well.
A B+ for them.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Cool. This is all going on Discord. Brighton have signed pretty much no one. Levi Colville from Chelsea on loan.
Oh yeah.
Julio Enciso from Libertad Asunción. Benicio Baker Boati from Porto. Simon Adingara from Norgeland. Imari Samuels from Reading. Dickheads. Luca Barrington from Man City. And Pervis Estupian.
Pervis Estupian. Yeah.
From Villarreal. And out the door, pretty much a similar sort of situation where no one really of note. Yves Bissouma obviously went. And
Yeah.
Aaron Connolly, who looked like he was going to be a baller 2-3 years ago, has gone to Venezia on loan.
Yeah.
Leo Ostergaard went to Napoli. But then, yeah, it's kind of a lot of youngsters. Cucurella obviously going as well. And they offloaded Shane Duffy. Do you know what? Actually, they've lost a lot of people. Matt Clark went to Borough. And Neil Morpay went. Sorry, the list is
Neil
so
Poppe,
long.
yeah.
The list is so long for outgoings there that I lost a few of them in there. So they've lost a fair few, actually. And brought in a lot of nobodies. But in Graham Potter, we trust.
Yeah, he is one of those, the complete opposite to Villa. You know, I know we talked ahead of the show about the potential of him going to Villa in place of the struggling Steven Gerrard. Potter's, since he's gone to Brighton, he's been mustard. Poor window, I think. You know, they've lost players, key players, and not strengthened or replaced them.
No.
So yeah, I'll go C+ on that one.
C+.
Just purely because the amount of money they've managed to bring in for Cucurella and Basuma.
Yeah,
that's a
fair
little
enough.
redeeming factor there.
Cool. Get your votes in there as well, guys, on what you think each team has given on a rating, on a GCSE school rating for their transfer windows up until this point, because we know things are still happening. John's alive! John's alive! Basuma, what a play. Yes, he is. Graham is the English Cruyff and will do well. Graham Potter, the English Cruyff. Cool. Yeah,
He
well,
is class.
he is very, very good. But then equally, and we don't talk about this guy in the same sort of breath, Thomas Frank. Fantastic. Brentford. You know, he's taken little Brentford. He's kept him in. I don't think they'll go down this season either. He's kept them going. And I think he'll keep them going again for at least another season. So,
yeah, 2 seasons in a row that everyone said that they were going to get relegated, and they're not.
No.
Superb work.
Yeah. Hats off to the pot. And I think the biggest issue that Villa have is in December, if they do decide they want him, and hopefully Gareth Southgate takes a step away, Graham Potter's got to be one of the key. If we're going Englishman, Graham Potter's got to be one of the key people for that England job. Him and Eddie Howe.
Yeah, Eddie Howe won't leave. You know, got the job of a lifetime there, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, with all that money that they're going to be able to spend, whatever players he wants, you know, and that crowd that are going to be on your side every game. Why would you leave Newcastle?
Yeah, no, I agree. And they're probably paying a lot more as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, but what'll happen, Neil, or you know, we know what's going to happen is that we'll go and get someone like Thomas Tuchel or something. He'll lose his job at Chelsea and end up getting the England gig or something. Something ridiculous.
England and ridiculous. Yeah,
not a bad shout. Looking into your crystal ball again.
I know. Breaking news, people. Burnley. I mean, it's not breaking news. They're in the Championship. Breaking news, Burnley have signed Jordan Bayer on loan for the season from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Yep. I know all of those words. Apart from Jordan Bayer. Chelsea signing Raheem Sterling, Kalidou Koulibaly and Marley Hutchinson from Arsenal. Gabriel Slonier from Chicago Fire. Carney Chukwuemeka from Villa. Mark Cucurella. Cesare Casadei from Inter. And today, obviously, Wesley Fofana from Leicester. They needed it because going out the door, Rudiger, Christensen, Drinkwater, yeah. Misanda, Salpeters, yeah. Lukaku. Who else? Obviously, we just talked about Levi Colville going to Brighton. Timo Werner going to Leipzig. Malang Sarr going to Monaco. Emerson going to West Ham. Barkley being released. Hudson-Odoi going out the door to Leverkusen. Baba Rahman going back on loan to Reading. And Ethan Ampadu today signing for Spezia. Lots of outgoings of people who were first team or at least in around that squad not many incomings. They probably had an overly bulky squad anyway. But what are you thinking?
I find it hard to comment on Chelsea's window, really. No strategy at all. 1 minute they talk about Pulisic leaving, then he's staying, then he's possibly going on loan, then he's staying. They never play him, so why are you keeping him? It's just, that doesn't make sense. Then they bring in Raheem Sterling, which is exactly the same player.
Yeah.
Lots of things baffle me. They're bringing in Dennis Zakaria, and they've just let Ethan Ampadu go out on loan.
Yeah.
They're basically the same player. One of them's younger, and will be not as injury prone. Can't get my head around that. That makes no sense. Need a goal scorer after letting Werner, Lukaku go. Haven't got one. Sign centre backs because centre backs are left. That's about the only good bit of business they've done. Didn't need to sign Cucurella. There's no need to sign him. We've got money, might as well.
Well, the left back situation, the Cucurella thing, is because obviously there's talk of he likes to play that three at the back, and Chilwell has played in that three at the back for him. So the Cucurella gives them more options as the actual out and out wing back, because Alonso is apparently part of the deal for the Aubameyang.
Right. Okay.
So the deal for Aubameyang is between 5 and 10 million plus Alonso. So they needed the left back coverage is there, or left wing back coverage was there. But I get what you're saying. At that time, they obviously knew he was out the door. Yeah. Even though they kept saying no.
Yeah, this is it. I can't. And even if they get Aubameyang today, what? Yeah, okay, bringing in a proven goal scorer for the first 6 months of his time at any team. After that, he goes a bit wayward.
Yeah.
Done it at Arsenal, just done it at Barca. Yeah, I mean, if you get him in and Alonso goes the other way, I think Alonso's class.
Yeah.
It should be doing more to keep him. But I mean, all this good stuff they're doing, bringing in Fofana, bringing in Koulibaly, and then you go and spend 20 million on Chukwuemeka. Why? No, he's never going to play. So why are you buying him? Let him go somewhere and play football.
Well, why
are you spending 20 million on him? Your man from Inter Milan, Casadei. Oh, desperate to sign him. But you go and spend a load of money on a player who's never going to play.
Yeah.
In 3-4 years' time, we'll probably still. Well, I probably won't still be doing this show, but we'll be sitting talking on this show if it's hypothetically going in 3-4 years' time, saying, "Oh, Casadei has just gone out on loan to Benfica or someone."
Vitesse.
It's just That's why? That's just the bit that baffles me with Chelsea. Just tend to stockpile players.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I can't. I don't think it's the right thing to do for football.
The Chukwuemeka one. The reason he signed there was because he wanted to be involved in a team playing in the Champions League. He wanted to progress his career quickly. He went there and he said, game time is limited at Villa. Well, why is it going to be any different at Chelsea? You've gone there, 20 million quid. He was in the squad for the first game, hasn't been in the squad since.
I mean, he's got an attitude problem.
Of course he has. Yeah, because he thinks because people told him he was the best 16, 17-year-old in the country, which he was. He suddenly thinks everything's going to just drop at him. Mate, look at the likes of Rashford. Look at the likes of Theo Walcott. People like that.
Ravel Morrison.
Yeah, Ravel Morrison, who, being told they're the best player. And then they go, fuck it, I'm the best player. Just so now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. So I say, a lot of good work, Chelsea. Just, if they get Aubameyang in, I'll give them a B.
Cool.
Because they've done what they need to do, just spent money needlessly.
Yeah.
On certain players.
I mean, I'm looking at it. They've improved in those key areas in terms of Rudiger Christensen. I'd rather have Koulibaly Fofana.
Yep.
Lukaku once again, didn't fit the system years ago. Still didn't fit the system. So based on that, they haven't replaced him, but Aubameyang coming in may be a better fit. Although Aubameyang's always looked better when he's come off the flank.
Yeah.
Timo Werner against Raheem Sterling. Well, theoretically, Sterling has had a better goal output, etc. over the years. Last 4, 5, 6 years in the Premier League at least. But he's been playing for a team that's
Comes in with a point to prove as well.
Yeah.
You know.
But he's also been playing for a team that's been scoring 3, 4, 5 goals a game. So he's going to have that. Carney Chukwuemeka against Ross Barkley. Well, Ross Barkley's been shit for years. Cucurella is better than Emerson. Is he better than Alonso? I think he offers more as a wing back. I don't think he's necessarily a better footballer. Yeah, I think it's much of a like for like apart from the 2 centre backs. So yeah, a B for them. Okay, cool. What's going on in the Man United game?
Half time, 1-0 to Man United.
Cool. And Artur Melo appears to be one step away from being confirmed as a Liverpool player. He is currently at Anfield. Doing something else. He's
Intriguing.
posted a farewell message to Juve players, but it's come up with the location saying he's in Liverpool. So
Like it.
Quite clear that he's there.
Yeah.
Oba is in
I want to lick like all the whipped cream off of
seen
you.
in London.
Ninja with the resub, licking all
What's
the
a
whipped
boy?
cream off of
What's
us.
a
How
boy?
are you, sir? I hope you're well. Oba back in London ahead of a Chelsea move. Wolves have agreed a deal for Mets midfielder Boubacar Traore. Season-long loan with an £11 million option to buy, which is obviously a direct replacement for Leander Dendoncker, who obviously has signed for Villa earlier in the day for pretty much the same amount of money. Cool. So, yeah, all good, mate. All good. Get involved. We are going through the transfer window. We are keeping everyone abreast. Yeah, abreast. We're keeping everyone abreast of what's going on minute by minute. Also in the Manchester United Leicester game, keeping everyone abreast. But also we are grading, old school GCSE grading of each club's transfer window. So far, Arsenal have got an A. Bournemouth have got a C+. Villa have got a B-. Brighton have got a C+. Brentford got a B+. Chelsea have got a B. We move on to Palace.
Ninja saying Birmingham wouldn't make a signing because the owners would lose out on some money. You've done Manchester United a solid, mate, by taking Hannibal on loan and giving us some money for Tahith Chong as well. Cheers for that.
How much did you sell to Heath Chong for?
I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, getting anything for him's pretty banging. I'm chuffed with that.
And Hannibal on loan, I'll tell you what, that's a deal for Birmingham.
Do you reckon? He came off the bench against Norwich yesterday and apparently looked appalling.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
came off the
okay.
bench, got booked within minutes, and just yeah. I mean, he could turn out to be a player. Yeah, he was terrible against Norwich. Yeah, he could turn out to be a player, but yeah, ran around too much. That's what he done when he came on for Man United last season. But
Positionally, a little bit inept then.
yeah, like a little Jack Russell. Yeah.
Like an excited dog.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
I just watched. Sorry, I watched the. I had to watch a little video on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Just purely because I wanted to see if he had like a great big cast around his jaw, like the crimson chin or something. Obviously, having a broken jaw. Mate, he's fine. He looks perfectly fine
Stan
for a man
Smith
who's
from
been
American
assaulted.
Dad.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's how I expected him to look. But he looks perfectly fine. And the funniest thing is you got Gary Cottrell with the microphone in his face, and obviously the camera's trying to film Gary Cottrell talking to him, and there's a guy trying to block the camera, putting his hand over the camera. It's like, mate, it's a fella just stood next to him with what appears to be a microphone, could be a knife, and you're worried about the camera,
I'll tell you what I love is he looks like he's wearing a hoodie. I mean, just in the freeze frame, hoodie with the zip half down, big gold chain down.
Yeah.
He looks like he's just about to go and perform some sort of nice gangster rap.
Yeah, could be Aubameyang, could be Will Smith.
Yeah. Do you
Don't
know what?
know.
I thought he looked a little bit initially when I first looked at it. I
Yeah.
thought he looked a little bit like
Will Smith.
Mahershala Ali, the guy who's going to be
yeah.
the new Blade.
Oh, really? Pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not down with the kids. But yeah. As you say, he just looks like some sort of gangster rapper. Don't know what that's about.
Oh, dear.
And you had the typical guy getting out of the car as well. That's got the bum bag up round here. What's that about?
Legend.
What's that about?
Man bag. No, it's a
It's
fanny
a
pack.
bum bag, mate.
It's a fanny
Exactly.
pack. You're a fanny. Get rid of your fanny
Yeah,
pack.
mate. Yeah, get loads of fanny. Do you? Yeah, do you? Bless you.
I don't understand what's wrong with pockets or having a missus who's got a bag big enough to carry all your stuff in.
Backpacks, mate. Backpacks the way forward.
Mate, I still make sure if we're going out anywhere and I need to take keys, wallet, phone. I mean, I'll never take a wallet anymore. But keys, wallet. If I need to take stuff, I just make sure Mrs. B takes a bag big enough to carry it all for me. Or I have pockets.
Yeah, that's what pockets were invented for.
Freaking bum bag. And then I'm aware of what's going on, so no one can rob me. Is someone wearing one of them for 100% selling drugs, mate? If you end up in Lisbon, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Bertie, how are ya?
Anywhere.
So Palace, Malcolm Ebawi in, Sam Johnson in, Czech Decore, I like him in, Cormac Austin's no idea, Chris Richards in, and Kofi Barmer, not a clue, coming from Larne in Ireland, couldn't tell you. At the door, very much the same as others. No one really of note has gone out the door. So you're kind of looking at it and saying, well, do you know what? I think Patrick Vieira went in and done really well last season. Much better than expected based on his previous 2 managerial stints. And I think, you know, some of the players they've brought in, Sam Johnson's a good player. If he gets in, if he becomes first choice, fine. But as a backup, really good. And Czech Decore, I really like him from Long. Really good player. And I don't think they really needed to do huge amounts to strengthen.
No, they didn't. No, I think you know it'd been, you know, it's a good window for Palace because of you know, the players that they've held on to. So yeah, you know, with that one, it's hard to score. You know, because there's not really anything's happened. But you know, I think keeping hold of Wilfried Zaha, I know he's rumoured as moving.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go C+, I suppose.
Christian Benteke's gone, hasn't he?
Oh, B+ then. Yep. Cracking move.
Benteke's gone to DC. B+. Very well, very well, Bertie. Thank you very much. How are you, sir? Hope things are good. So yeah, give us your views, guys, on the transfer windows. Each team, we're doing a scoring process. Well, I say we are. Sean is, and I'm making a note, and then I'm going to put it in the window, and I'm going to pull this up in later times, like everyone has been doing around Paul Merson and Phil Thompson,
and ridicule me, basically,
and basically ripping into their theory about Man City paying 50 million quid for Kevin De Bruyne, and going, he's not a 50 million pound player. He's not even the best player in his team. He's one of the best players in the world, boys. You just didn't get a chance to see it. Everton. Everton. In with James Tarkowski. In with Ruben Vinegar. In with Dwight McNeil. Connor Cody. Amadou Onana. What's his name? Amadou is his name. Neil Morpay. And Idrissa Gana Gay. And out, John Joe Kenny, released, finally. Richarlison, best deal they've done. Jared Branthwaite, out to PSV on loan. And then I'm just looking back through. Lewis Gibson has basically been out on loan every season, going down the leagues. This season, he finds himself at Bristol Rovers in League 2. Dele Alli, see you later, Sunbeam. And Jean-Philippe Gambabin, who was brought in last year, and they've realised he's shit, and they sent him out to Trabzonspor. Basically, Turkey is just the way forward this year.
Retirement home.
Essentially, yeah. So where are we going with these guys? Where are we going with Everton?
Brought in some good players on paper. Yeah. I think bringing in Tarkowski and Cody at the back has It's good. That's an upgrade on anything they've got there.
Yep.
Both those players. More pay as well. Is it more pay's gone there on
Neil
loan?
Morpay, yeah, and Dwight McNeil.
Yeah. Dwight McNeil, once again, really good player. That Onana looks class.
He did look
from what I've
very
seen.
good, yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
But undoubtedly, selling on Richarlison for a shed load of cash.
60 million quid. And did you see his little trick and flick the other day, and then got absolutely nailed? And all people have gone fair.
Good. Yeah, exactly. Good.
A few people said, "Oh, it's unsportsmanlike conduct." It's not.
No.
It's not. It's someone.
How about
doing
keepy uppies in the middle of a game? That's pretty unsporting.
I would say no. I would say he's got time and space to do it. He's doing it. He's killing a bit of time. Blah blah blah. Doesn't he? But it's Richarlison, so I think smash the bloke.
Exactly. Yeah.
So where are we going with Everton? What are we giving them?
Off if they. It's a tough one. I mean, I want to. I mean, you got to score them highly. I think on that. I think bringing in more pay is what they needed to do. Without more pay, you're talking sort of B minus, maybe a B.
Yeah.
Bringing in more pay, bringing in a striker because they can't rely on Calvert-Lewin or Salomon Rondon.
No. And unfortunately, they've been relying on Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon, who just aren't strikers.
No, absolutely. I think keeping hold of Gordon's a good move because he's looked good for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, cashing in on him wouldn't have been a bad thing. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna have to go B plus. I can't quite bring myself to give an A minus on that one.
Cool. B plus for Everton's transfer window. Well done, Fat Frank. Breaking news. Bertie's in the house. He's going to love it. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has just signed for Southampton on loan.
Yes, they're waiting on that one to happen.
Yeah, option to buy, deal done. He looks very happy to be holding a Sportsbet EO shirt, which now means actually Southampton's window. I'm not going to lie, Southampton's window has improved. We'll get there, but we've touched on it a couple of times. Besiktas, fuck me, he sucks, but he can play everywhere. And to be fair, he's better than some of the signings that have been made. Besiktas. I wanted to touch on Besiktas because their team at the moment is just made up of ex-Premier League players who just aren't up to it. So, they have got Roman Saiz. They've got Arthur Masuaku. They have got Gedson Fernandes of Spurs no game fame. They've got George Nkudu of Spurs no game fame. They've got Wout Weghorst of 6 months Burnley fail. They've got Cenk Tosun of Palace and Everton fail. let me move on.
Swiftly moving on
to the next game week because that was on the 21st of August. They signed a few more. The next
these are just the ones they've signed.
No, these are the people. Yeah, they've signed these guys that are playing. Obviously, they've got Dele Alli. And they've also got Rashid Ghezal, who was at Leicester and couldn't get a game. I've just looked through the team earlier and I was like, hold on, half of these guys were shit in the Premier League. Just brilliant. I thought that was brilliant because obviously the amount of players that are suddenly bunking off over to Turkey. I found it vastly amusing. Okay, cool.
Cheap hair transplants, isn't it?
Oh, that's
not
true.
Not long till I'll be there.
True story. Hair transplants, I heard exactly. Look at that Bertie knows as well. It's the delay in the chat. That's why Cenk Tosun's there, 100%.
And Dele Alli.
Oh, Dele Alli. I mean, he doesn't need a transplant, does he? He just needs someone to sort his freaking hair out.
Nah, those dreadlocks, that was a wig, blatantly. That was a syrup.
But no wonder he started to get shit. Basically, his career coincided with his hairstyles. As they got ropier, so did his football. Fulham. We move on. Fulham. João Palhinha in. Christian Sekalarak from Juve in. Andreas Pereira. Manor Solomon. Kevin and Babu. Good signing. Ben Leno, Shane Duffy, Issa Diop, Levine Kazawa, and Willian. All in. A couple of those guys in today. Late deals. Fabio Carvalho out. And then after that, a lot of people who are pretty much nobody's, just looking through the list. Steven Sessegnon out on loan to Charlton. I found a surprise because he played on a regular basis for him. So I found that one a little bit bizarre. But apart from that, yeah. Jean-Michel Seri released. But he's getting older and injured a lot. The one that I quite liked on the release list was Alfie Mawson. Because I remember when he went to Swansea, when they were in the Prem, and he was the next big thing. Because he was quite young when he signed for him. And he was crap. Oh, no, he wasn't crap, actually. He done all right for Swansea. Then Fulham bought him.
He was... Mate, they say he was at Wycombe Wanderers before he was at Swansea, and he was an absolute baller. Don't you dare talk bad of Big Alf.
My bad. He then went to Swansea. He's then gone to Fulham. Fulham have released him, and he's just signed for a League One team. He's shit now. So
up the chair, boys.
Up the chair, boys. So Fulham transfer window. Your verdict.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, is it? It's better than what they normally do. I mean, the only thing is that they've covered themselves in a great big poo stain by signing Andreas Pereira.
And playing him every week as well.
Yeah, and what's really bad is watch the game against Liverpool. He looked quite good. That really made my life hurt. Really, just hit me straight in the feels. Yeah, I mean, not bad, as I say, given what they normally do, which is they go out and just sign any old Tom, Dick, and Harry, like Ryan Babel and players like that.
Yeah.
Kevin and Barbu, I don't think that's much of a signing, unfortunately. He flopped massively at Newcastle. I don't think he's quite up for the Premier League. I don't think it suits his game enough, frankly.
I've liked him at Wolfsburg. I think he looks good.
I think he looks good in Germany. Just Premier League's too intense.
Okay.
It's too intense.
Fair enough.
Doesn't get enough time to run forward with the ball. I just don't think it's going to work out for him, unfortunately. But that João Paulinho looks class.
Yes.
Looks mustard. I go.
I like the signing of Issa Diop as well. I can never work out. I mean, I clearly grasp why he doesn't get a first team game at West Ham, because obviously they went out and signed Zuma pretty much straight away as well.
Yeah.
But I think he's a very good defender. As we were talking earlier, Levine Kazawa.
I was going to say,
Willian, both good signings, will give them a lot of experience and sort of winning mentality as well. So, but yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. A B. I'm going to go with a B.
A B.
Yeah, just straight down the middle of the. Yeah, very average. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Cool. We move on to. Oh, here we go. Good old Mulchy.
Oh no.
Leeds.
Oh no.
Leeds.
That little pudding.
That little pudding, please.
Never get old. I'll never get old.
Please don't let it go down to the last day of the season.
Don't think I could take it again.
I don't think he'll get to the last game of the season, Mulch. I think he'll be done before that.
You long old sucker.
Brendan Aronson, Rasmus Christensen, both from Salzburg. Obviously, Jesse Marsh's old team. Mark Roca in from Bayern Munich. Darko Gyabi from Man City. Tyler Adams from Leipzig. Luis Sinisterra from Fulham. Sonny Perkins in from West Ham. And Joel Robles of useless Everton fame.
Everton reject.
The only A I'd want to hear is for Saints, but others are D's or double D's. God's sake. Oh dear.
Can we give Saints double D's? What that?
Do you know what? I thought Saints. Yeah, Saints. We'll see when we get there. Leeds obviously out of the door. Pretty much no one. No one's really left, have they? I mean, the talk at the moment. Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips. Tyler Roberts has gone on loan to QPR. Jamie Shackleton went to Millwall. Rafinha went to Barca to not play again because he can't be registered. Helder Costa went to El Ittihad. What a waste of a player that is. And obviously Dan James is on his way to Fulham. What are we giving Leeds?
I was gonna give them C plus until you said that Dan James is on his way to Leeds. Now I'm thinking, give it an A. I think moving on Rafinha is a cracking bit of business. And Calvin Phillips, I think it's, mate, if you want to go warm City's bench, jog on, son.
I mean, he's played like 10 minutes so far for him, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and every time I see him, he's all smiles. I think, yeah, you chebend.
Yeah, it's because he's getting paid like 3 times the amount he was at Leeds. But we said that transfer will hurt Leeds more than it will benefit Man City.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just, to me, you just don't look. I don't look at Leeds and see that they've brought in any quality that's going to help them. They struggled last season. They've not addressed the issue, and they've weakened themselves, if anything, by letting key players go. So, some of the players are brought in, like that Sinistera looks quite good, and Adams doesn't look bad. It could work out well, but
yeah,
the only I give him a C plus, and the plus is purely because it's a bit of a gamble whether those players turn out good.
I think Sinistera, if he can stay fit, is a double upgrade on Rafinha because he was a third of the price, and I think he's not as much of a bell end. He's direct. Yeah. He'll create chances. He'll create goals. He won't dick around with the ball because it makes him feel like he's doing better. That sort of thing.
Exactly.
I think,
he's not a show pony.
No, I think Mark Rocket's a good signing for him as well. I don't really know huge amounts about Brendan Aronson, and I know less about Rasmus Christensen because they played in Austria. But Jesse March obviously managed them, and he's picked out the 2 players he wanted from there that were willing to leave Austria to come to Leeds. So, and I mean, who really wants to go to Leeds? It's a shithole. Leeds. Cool. So, what are we giving them? A B plus, did you say? Or
C?
No,
C plus.
C plus. Sorry. Yeah, I over-egged that big time, didn't I? Leicester City.
Sorry.
Leicester City.
It's Dan James thing.
Leicester City, they've got to be struggling big time. They brought in Alex Smithies from Cardiff on a free transfer, and Wout Faes from Reims. Out the door has gone Kasper Schmeichel. Hamza Chowdhury has gone on loan to Watford. Wesley Fofana, Chelsea. The 2 guys they've brought in are nowhere near the level of the two main guys that have gone.
Totally agreed. And Brendan Rodgers has been vocal on what's going on. They're tightening the purse strings, and they can't afford to buy the players that they want. Basically,
yeah,
that's as much as it. Yeah, it's a solid D for them.
Poor Leicester.
I mean,
Leicester would definitely, Leicester would definitely not a team that I thought would struggle this year. But do you know what? I think they could do now.
I think they'll be all right in the players that they've not lost. Maddison not going, Tielemans not going.
Yeah, Tielemans not going is a surprise.
And Ndidi still there. So I think they've got just enough about them to get them through this season. I think they'll be okay.
Yeah. But Tielemans is. I'm shocked at Tielemans still being there because Leicester apparently came out today and said he's available at 25 mil. I mean, you don't do that on transfer deadline day. That's bizarre. But
yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if I was on the Man United backroom staff at this game, I'd be waving a contract at him, going, "Yeah,
yeah, 100%.
Come on,
yeah,
come on, Yuri, come on." Just a shirt, yeah. Fancy swapping sides at half time? Yeah.
And yeah, he won't get a deal done. Is he playing today? Is he in the team?
Yes. Yeah.
So
on the ball right now.
He won't be going anywhere because the deal he can't get a deal done in time unless something happens, unless Man United sign him. Because that's the only place
in the dressing room, having a medical. Yeah.
Ben Brayton suddenly that magical Chilean Ben Brereton Diaz apparently is staying at Blackburn. Fulham and Everton have both had deals rejected, and I didn't realise Venky's the chicken people was still in charge of Blackburn. Wow.
Yep.
That's why they've never come back up again. They said how much they want. It's not been met. He's going nowhere. Leeds owner Andrea Razziani has basically been going on and on all over Twitter today. He's now openly said they've been screwed over on a deal for. He thought Bamba Dieng was coming in. It was all dealt with. It was all set up. They were looking at trying to sign Cody Gakpo. That apparently fell through. Not or didn't fall through. They focused their attention on Dieng because it looked like a more feasible deal. Dieng was all ready to fly to Leeds, and then a late offer from Nice came in, and Marseille went, actually, go that way instead.
I mean, to be fair, Cody Gakpo turning Leeds down is good news for them.
For Leeds.
Do you know what the funniest, by far, the funniest transfer story I've heard all transfer window is Lucas Ocampos.
Yes.
That Ajax were going to sign him. They agreed a deal. He was on his way, flying out from Sevilla, I think where he's at, flying from Spain over to Ajax. Whilst he's on the plane, Ajax get on the phone saying about that, is there any chance we can make it a loan deal? And they said, if there's an option to buy, or sorry, there's a mandatory purchase, we'd rather have it optional. No, not having that. Oh, right. Well, we're not going to have the deal then. So they had to, mid-flight, turn back and go back to Sevilla. Fucking great, because the guy is a chebend. So I was chuffed. But I suppose he got his air miles on his Amex, so I'm the only loser out of this one.
Exactly, yeah. Apparently, Douglas Luiz not going to Arsenal, so that A will stay. Douglas Luiz,
the A will stay.
The A will stay. It will not increase. Apparently, people at Arsenal are ready to say, we're done. We cannot be bothered to push on any further with this. So we are going to say no thanks. Arsenal were only prepared to pay 25 million for him. Villa wanted more than that. I think Villa, reading it and looking at it, I think Villa were looking at, we're happy to take sort of a chunk and then add-ons, but Arsenal aren't prepared to do anything more than the 25. So Douglas Luiz stays at Villa, which is a good thing for Villa, even if it's a guy whose contract is up next season. They haven't replaced him. They would have been proper screwed. So cool.
As you say, Dendoncker can do that job, but yeah, not the same type of player.
No. We move on. Liverpool in Fabio Carvalho, match winner the other day. In Darwin Núñez, goal scorer, not really a match winner yet. And Calvin Ramsey from Aberdeen out. Divock Origi, Loris Karius, Seiji Ojo, Ben Woodburn, then a few people I've never heard of. Sadio Mane, Minamino, and then a few more people I've never heard of. Nico Williams, Reece Williams, Ben Davies, what a waste of a signing that was. Sepp van den Berg, yeah, cool. So a number of people out, 3 people in. Origi, I mean, I know how much you love a little bit of Divock.
Oh, mate. Me and Chris Koopmara.
Yeah.
Just a hero, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Origi's just a baller, isn't he?
Yeah.
How no one in the Premier League snapped him up?
Well, because he went
Bizarreness.
to AC Milan, didn't he? He went to Serie A Champions.
Bizarre.
So, yeah.
Bizarre.
But,
bizarre. I mean, you sign in, mate, win the Premier League. Man United should have gone in for him.
true story.
I joke.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, not a bad window for Liverpool. I think, replacing Sadio Mane is near on impossible. Núñez goes some way to doing that, but it's not enough of the way. Fabio Carvalho's looked okay from what I've seen, and at least Liverpool have thrown him in there. They've not just signed him and done a Chelsea and just left him there to rot. Got a bit of love for that. Yeah, it's needed to strengthen that centre midfield. Really need to strengthen it. I'm not convinced with Thiago. He just seems to spend a lot of his time injured. Henderson's getting on. Naby Keita, it's not working out for. They needed to bring in, I think, 2 good centre midfielders to really shore up that team, and they haven't done it. It's no surprise they've started sluggish this season. So,
yeah.
And Arthur's not going to improve that.
No, he's
You
going to
know,
be a
I
like
don't
for
think
like for Thiago.
Yeah, like for like. Yeah, another one with brittle bones.
Yeah.
Isn't going to last a season. So
Zakaria
for
has finished
Liverpool,
his medical at Chelsea.
is it?
Finished
Yeah,
and has
yeah,
left the medical. And do you know what? He's doing his medical at Juve's training facility. That's how much Juve are
yeah.
happy for him to go. He's not had to
Juve do that a
travel
lot though.
anyway. Really.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah. They got yeah, they've invested heavily in their facilities. The J Medical. Yeah, happens a lot at Juventus.
Mm.
But yeah, Liverpool's a hard one to score. I don't to say that they've weakened
Yes,
on paper
I think
because
they've
of the
weakened.
loss of Mane.
I think they've weakened
Both me and
because
you are not. We're not sold on Nunes.
no, but I think
Neither of
also
us.
what they've done is they've weakened by losing Mane, because I think Mane is better than Nunes, better than Carvalho. But I think also
Yeah.
what they've done is they've lost some backup there as well, because Origi's obviously gone, Nico Williams has gone, Reece
Yeah.
Williams, who played a few games last season, has gone as a centre back, and obviously they had lots of centre back problems.
Yeah.
You know, I think they've lost a few backup players in there as well, which is
Mm.
a bigger tell, or will be a bigger tell. And as you say,
Yeah.
not signing a centre midfielder.
Yeah. I think is a big mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, big mistake. So yeah, with them, I'm gonna give them a C. Big fat C.
Big fat C. Man City. Erling Haaland
Do we need
in.
to go through them?
Stefan Ortega in. Calvin Phillips in. Sergio Gomez in. Manuel Akanji in. Obviously, Fernandinho done. Gavin Bazuna gone to Southampton. Gabriel Jesus out. A few other youngsters out. Romeo Lavia out to Southampton. Sterling out to Chelsea. Zach Steffen to Middlesbrough. Zinchenko to Arsenal. Yankuto to Girona. Girona. Liam Delap going back to the loving land of his old man at Stoke. And then Claudio Gomez, 22-year-old, they signed 4 years ago. He's never played for the first team. Gone to Palermo.
Some more breaking news that Fabrizio Romano has reported that a deal has been agreed for Nottingham Forest. Finally opened their checkbook to sign free agent Serge Aurier.
I mean, now they're really pushing their luck out on the people who had just been proven to not be good enough for the Prem.
Exactly. Yep. Are you Besiktas in disguise?
Shitzy Batshuayi and Serge Aurier. Oh, God. Yeah, cool. Anyway, so Man City. What are we
A,
saying?
innit? A,
Yeah.
A plus or an A? You take your pick, mate.
Yeah, no,
If you want to save your pen, mate, put down an A.
I would probably go with an A, because I think, yeah, they brought in Haaland, and I think
But where they need to strengthen, and they've strengthened.
They've added backup players, but I think they've also lost backup players to an extent. I think obviously if you added Julian Alvarez into that list of incomings, that looks a lot better. Obviously, they signed him in January and loaned him back straight away to River Plate for the rest of the season. He's looked good.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland, best striker in the world, probably alongside Lewandowski at the moment. As
Benzema.
As an out-and-out striker. Benzema, I still don't think Benzema's an out-and-out striker. Although, to be fair, the last season or two he has had to be. He's had to be. I think he was always a bit more as a deep-lying forward. But I think, the last couple of years he's had to play more advanced because they haven't had the options. And he has been quality. But I think, Haaland, people questioned, he's not that. He's playing in the Farmers League. He scored 9 goals in his first 5 games for Man City. He scored back-to-back hat-tricks within 5 games. Do you know, I mean, it's... And they're the goals that Man City weren't scoring, because some of them 3-4 yards out. Proper tap-ins.
Yeah, I was gonna say a
Headers
lot of
from-
them. Yeah, we talked about his goals at the weekend. They were nothing special.
No.
Just finished them.
Yeah.
It was just clinical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I mean. They in that area they were lacking that since Aguero left.
Yeah.
They've gone out there, said, "You're our man. We'll do whatever it takes," and that's enough.
Yeah.
It's just clinical business, and you got to take your hats off to them and say that's just superb,
Yeah.
absolutely superb bit of business bringing him in.
Yeah.
And he will only get better under Pep.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. Okay. Apologies. It's pain time. Man United. In with Terrell Malacia, which sounds like an ice cream. Christian Eriksen.
I'll go for one.
It's a melted Calippo. Lisandro Martinez.
I'll go
Casemiro.
for two.
Anthony and Martin Dubravka, which was agreed today. And I've just seen the Serge Aurier thing as well. It's so bad that they haven't even got a picture of him playing for a club. He's in his freaking international gear, isn't he? Because he's normally on the floor playing for his club, trying to hack someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Eriksen, and Dubravka confirmed as well, in on loan. Out goes, and lots of good players released here. Cavani, Mata, Pogba, Lingard, Paul McShane, Matic, Dean Henderson, Andreas Pereira, who crap but looks alright at Fulham. Alex Telles going back out straight away to Sevilla. Ethan Laird out today to QPR. Hannibal to Birmingham, we were talking about earlier. Ahmad, is that Ahmad Traore? Going to Sunderland.
Ahmed
Diallo, sorry, yes. Going to Sunderland on loan. Lots of players going out, lots of players released from contracts. Admittedly,
Ridiculous.
older players. All older players, but Man United needs some of that grounding sometimes, I think.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, those players that you've reeled off. I mean, the one that is a bit of a shame he went, but he was getting on was Mata. You could see it. He couldn't play the game that he wanted to play.
Yeah.
Matic, not bothered. He's gone. Cavani, it's a shame. He'd have worked out an absolute treat in this system.
Yeah.
But that Ten Hag wants. It absolutely baffled me why that man never got more games at Man United.
No.
And the players we brought in, they're all good players. Dubravka, we've always said is a great goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. Why Man United have named 2 goalkeepers on the bench tonight against Leicester,
What?
and then you're on about bringing in another goalkeeper. I couldn't work that one out, to be honest. But it's one of those where the manager's saying, "Yeah, well, we need competition in that place." Well, get one of the youngsters in.
Well, you just
I remember when
offloaded one of the best young ones.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, on loan. I mean, I can understand that as well because he's never going to play every week, and Dean Henderson wants to play week in, week out.
Yeah.
I understand that, and that's good business as far as I'm concerned. And I sincerely hope when he comes back, he is our number one next year. But I remember when Jose Mourinho was at Manchester United, and he said that Joel Pereira, who was the goalkeeper then, yeah. But he was 18, 19 at the time. He said he's one of the best young goalkeepers in the world, and he played in the Europa League a few times and looked decent. He was there with Sergio Romero and David De Gea. I don't understand why your third goalkeeper can't be your academy number one. That didn't make any sense to me. But so yeah,
who's on the bench from tonight then?
Tom Heaton and Matija Kova. So why bring in another goalkeeper?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. Anyways, Malacia's class looks really, really good. Eriksen, you know what you're getting with Eriksen.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about Anthony, and not really convinced. He's not. I don't understand. It's a typical Man United sign of buying a player where you've already got players in that position. But
yeah, and paying over
it is
the
what it
odds
is.
for him as well.
Yeah, paying over the odds. I still needed to bring in an out-and-out goal scorer.
Yeah.
Still, it's what they needed going into this window. I think the Casemiro sign's a good signing. I'm gonna say B- on that one.
Yeah.
B- overall. Just you say, just could have done more.
What
Could have done more.
What do you think so far of the Lisandro Martinez signing? Because I know a lot of
Class.
people.
Yeah, he's class.
Yeah, a lot of people have questioned his height and things like that, and then there's been comparisons made to Fabio Carvalho, not Fabio Carvalho, sorry,
Cannavaro.
Fabio Cannavaro. But Cannavaro was in a class of his own. People, there wasn't even question marks. People didn't even question his height because he was so good.
No, he was that good, yeah.
So the fact that people are questioning Martinez's height makes you wonder. Actually, he's not at that level. So
it's like we've talked about. I think we talked about on the show. We're not talking Football Manager,
no,
where you just sign your tallest centre backs. You just go out and go, oh, he's really tall. Yeah, sign him. It's he reads the game really well, and alongside Varane,
yeah,
it's working out really, really well. And the one thing he does bring is just a minute ago during the game, Darlow's just managed to win a goal kick. Your man's gone down the Leicester left, tried to put a ball in. Darlow slid in, got a bit on it. It's come back off the Leicester playing ground for a goal kick.
yeah.
And Darlow and Martinez have just celebrated just like Giorgio Chiellini and Gigi Buffon. And it just says there's a bit of bite. He's got something about him, and I think that's what you want in a centre back. You want someone who's got a bit of character, who's going to celebrate tackles, who's going to do a bit of the dirty work, and he does that. Yeah. So what I've seen from Martinez, definitely an upgrade on Harry Maguire. He's an upgrade on Victor Lindelof, upgrade on Eric Bailly. Looks really, really good. If him and Varane can stay fit for the season, that's a really good centre back partnership.
Cool. And breaking, another one for Bertie. They've picked up Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and it's no surprise that Joe Shields, head of senior recruitment at Southampton, was former head of youth recruitment at Manchester City, because he's now picked up Sam Edozie for 10 million, for a fee rising to 10 million quid, after spending just over 10 million on Romeo Lavia and 20 million on Gavin Bazanu from City's development team. So they've dished out 40 million quid to City's development team, so development squad so far this summer. He's in as well. They're also trying to get a deal for Spain under-19 player Juan Larios. Guess where he plays?
Oh, go on. I don't know. Not got a clue, mate.
Man City. Trying to get
Does
that.
he?
They're trying to get that done before the end of the window as well. Jokers.
Ooh la la. Ooh la la.
So, Manchester United B minus. Cool. We're almost done. Not many teams left. Newcastle. In with some guy from Galway Town. Nick Pope, Matt Targett, Sven Botman, Charlie MacArthur, Jude Smith, Alexander Isak. And out of the window goes Isaac Hayden, Freddie Woodman, Jeff Hendrick, Kieran Clark, Dwight Gale, Martin Dubravka, and Matty Longstaff. I remember Matty Longstaff and his brother Sean Longstaff being like two of their youngsters coming through, centre midfield pairing. And Matty Longstaff has gone to Colchester in League One on loan.
Unreal.
Absolutely
unreal. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And when I remember Sean Longstaff breaking through, then Matty Longstaff coming through
And
2 or 3 months later, and everyone going, yeah, everyone, he's better than his brother. Yeah. But I mean, it just, I don't know. He looked like the little weird ginger kid, didn't he, in the playground? That's the only problem. But yeah. Just ate the sweets that no one liked, just one of them.
Yeah. He's all about the strawberry creams.
Yeah, a little weirdo. Yeah, the only one that's got Jaffa cakes in his lunchbox. Like weirdo. Loves Turkish delight. But no, it's with Newcastle. I mean, I think signing Isak is a coup. When he's apparently turned down Man United to go to Newcastle, so he said, or his agent said, I think.
Yeah.
Typical agent. Not a bad window. I think we all expected more from Newcastle because because of the money they've had. Bringing in Bruno Gomes in January as well. Once again, it's one of those that spilled into this window a little bit. So yeah. Once again, got rid of some of the dross that was there. So yeah, I think it's a good window. I'd go with a B+ on it purely because that wow factor of having Isak there.
I think, yeah, and I think also it's kind of expectations. There was all the talk about the amount of money coming in, how much they were going to do, what they were going to do, and it's kind of just kind of a little bit big money on
they're
Isaac.
just consolidated, aren't they? Consolidated.
Yeah,
I don't.
exactly.
They're talking about buying Mbappe or a Neymar or a player like that. They haven't. They've said no. We're going to invest in the squad, invest in the infrastructure,
Yeah,
and play the long game.
yeah.
I've got a lot of love for that.
Cool. Here we go. Long list. Nottingham Forest. In
Oh
with
fucking hell!
Taiwo Awoniyi, Dean Henderson, Giulian Bianconi, Musa Nihate, Omar Richards, Nico Williams, Wayne Hennessy, Brandon Aguilera. Hello, and another delivery. Thank you. Harry Tafolo, Lewis O'Brien, Jesse Lingard, Oriel Mangala, Emmanuel Dennis, Cheku Kouate. Now, I did not realise that Palace had let him go and he'd gone to Forest, because that's a good signing. Cheku Kouate. I like him.
Really?
I like Kouate.
I didn't know he'd gone either.
No.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. On a free transfer as well. Remo Freuler, Morgan Gibbs White, Huang Hizhou from Bordeaux, Renan Lodi in from Atletico, and then yesterday signing Willy Bolly from Wolves. Out the door, let's be fair, we're not going to know any of them. Gaetang Bong, I remember him from years ago. Carl Jenkinson, I remember him from years ago. After that, she had loads of other players. Bryce Samba, obviously I knew he'd gone goalkeeper. Lewis Graben released. Tyrese Fornar, I know him because he's gone to Reading. Huang Hizhou, they signed. Hold on. Huang Hizhou, they signed from Bordeaux, and then he's gone straight to Olympiacos. Interesting. Joe Lolly. Now that's an interesting one. Sorry, skipping down here. Joe Lolly, who was, lots of people were looking at him 2 years ago as a winger who scored goals, has gone to Sydney FC.
Wow.
So there you go. But lots of
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, lots of players in at Forest. Obviously did them no favours the other day against Man City, but I think there'll be a number of teams this season who, no matter who they sign, will get no favours at Man City.
Absolutely. Yep. Completely agree.
But I look at that and I genuinely, I think she shook it.
Steady on.
Yeah, exactly. But genuinely, I look across that team, and it is a whole new team. But
and a whole new bench.
And a whole new bench. But I think, do you know what? That's not a bad team. If you've got Dean Henderson in goal, you've got Nico Williams at right back, you've got Omar Richards at left back, you've got Willy Bolly, you've got Renan Lodi at left back as well. I mean, the weird thing is they've signed 3 left backs, which I find a bit bizarre. Lodi, Richards, and Harry Tafolo. But you've got Oriel Mangala. Kouate can play centre midfield or centre back. Morgan Gibbs White can play centre midfield or further forward. You've got Awoniyi as your forward. By me, you've got Emmanuel Dennis as a winger. Lingard as an attacking midfielder. They've bought a lot of options and a lot of. I'm not going to over-egg it. A lot of good players.
Yeah.
No one in there,
that's the thing. Yeah.
No one in there stands out. Renan Lodi is possibly the standout signing coming in from Atletico Madrid. I wouldn't say he's their best signing, but he's probably the standout one because of where he's come from and the fact they've managed to get him in the door.
That's it. Yeah, given where he has played previously, and
But I look at that and I'm like, I still don't think they'll stay up.
No, that's what I mean. It just screams of, say, a bit like Fulham, just signing everyone under the sun and then wondering why it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I as you say, when you look at the deals, some great deals in there, but do they need them? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Nearly just bring you up to date on the game. Cristiano Ronaldo's nearly just scored a fucking brilliant overhead kick. It's just bounced wide of the post. Yeah, unlucky. And they just had a minute ago, good play between him and Rashford. Nearly got Ericsson in for a tap in, but yeah, didn't quite work out. But yeah, going back to Forest, once again, based on the business, a lot of it's good business. It's just scattergun. It's just he's available. How much for? Oh, we can afford that. Yeah, we'll go get him as well. So to me, it just looks like a lot of buying for the sake of buying. A few of those are going to work out. Dean Henderson might end up being the difference for them staying up. So I'm going to go C plus purely on they've managed to bring him in. You know,
I also think, and it was kind of weird when we had Morris on from the USB, the US podcasts or USB, and he was talking about Forest, and I genuinely think there was an element there where he was saying about the owner has sort of almost put his money where his mouth is. He said, "Do you know what? We're going to build something here. We're going to invest. We're going to do. We're going to do." And he's gone up, and he's done it. But he's as you say, he's done it in a. We've signed loads of players. We've spent lots of money, but not on one particular person. So at the end of the season, if we sell these players, we should be able to recoup our money if we get relegated. Whereas Newcastle have gone, we've got all this money, but actually what we're going to do is we're going to buy this marquee signing and add this one and this one in.
Yeah,
and we're going to
strengthen the squad.
Exactly. Whereas Forest have gone full blown. Breaking transfer news. Coventry City have concluded their transfer business, both in and out, for this summer window. So any Coventry fans, you can switch off now. No more deals will be happening via Coventry City this summer.
There goes all our viewers.
Yeah.
Likely story.
We move on. Southampton. Here we go. Here's shits and giggles time. I hope you're still around, Bertie. So, in the door.
You might not want to be.
In the door, Alex Uwameni from Sutton.
How many?
So many. Uwameni. That's how many. Uwameni. Gavin Bazunu in from Man City for 20 million. Matthias Liss, who has never played. This is the guy I was talking about before. Never played outside of Poland until last season when he went to Turkey and then promptly got relegated with the team he signed for in Turkey. Has come in as a goalkeeper as well at Southampton. Armel Bella-Kotchap from Bochum. Not a bad defender. Not bad. Gone straight into the starting team.
Look quite good.
Yeah. Him and Salisu, unfortunate with his own goal the other week, but them two, which is why Villa are in with Bedrenak, essentially, because Romeo Lavia, 10 million quid from Man City. Played 2 professional games in his career. Joe Arabo, fantastic signing from Rangers, 6 million quid.
Good signing.
Sekou Mara from Bordeaux, who I think is about 10 to 15 as well. Ainsley Maitland-Niles in on loan from Arsenal. And as we announced 10 minutes ago, Samuel Edozie in from Man City again for another 10 million quid. And as we pointed out at the time, there is still time for Southampton to go and take another child from Manchester City, like the child catcher in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's going up and down in his little truck, shoving him in the back with some sweets. I say sweets. They say 10 million quid. Seems to be the going rate for a child these days, according to Man City. So, so he's in there. Out the door, Fraser Forster, obviously going to Spurs. And then after that, Shane Long going to Reading. What a legend. Will's got a small bone. Went to Stoke. Thierry Small, who they spent... I love that one. They spent loads of time getting Thierry
Shelled
Small
out, didn't they? Yeah, shelled
from
out.
Everton.
Everton.
And he's gone out on loan to Port Vale. Oreo Romeo has gone to Genoa. Not Genoa, sorry, Girona. Girona. Oh, and look at that. I've just been slating him. Matthias Liss, Polish goalkeeper, straight out on loan to Troyes in France. And Jack Stevens, obviously, today we announced as well, going to Bournemouth on loan.
Yeah.
Where are we at with Southampton? They've actually not had a hideous start.
No, they've not, and they've brought in. It's typical Southampton, a bit like they did last year, bringing in Armando Broja. Everyone's going, who?
Yeah.
I had him in my fantasy team last year. One's going, never even heard of him, Sean. Why you put him in there? Didn't get me many points,
That's
but
because he's
looked pretty
cheap.
good.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, I thought he'd get game time.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you aim for. It's the reason I put Skamaka in this year, and that hasn't worked out. But
He scored in the Europa
say,
League.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that counts in fancy league. Okay. But yeah, and had Julian Alvarez in my team, and he was benched this week.
Scored 2 yesterday.
Yeah, benched.
Oh, you benched him. Oh, mate. That's where you're living
I
in
know.
hope that other
Yeah,
people don't play.
yeah. I was gonna say I genuinely tried to put in some effort this weekend just gone because I always do the same. I always pick a team at the beginning of the season and forget about it.
Yeah.
You know, get halfway through the season, you realise you picked Jack Wilshere. Wasn't my finest moment. Um, and yeah, and he's starting. But yeah, with Southampton, yeah, brought in a load of young players, and you just don't know how it's going to
Yeah.
turn out, do you? You know, they're either going to be absolute ballers, they're going to give that opportunity, they're going to go for it, or they're just going to be a bit naff, and that's the reason they couldn't get a gig where they were.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Hassan Hootel just seems to get the best out of them. So I'm gonna have to give him a B- on this one. B-.
Yeah.
Some good deals. Just you're worried it's not going to work out this time.
Yeah. There's only so long that you can carry on that model normally, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, Spurs. 3 more to go. Spurs. We have got Ivan Perisic in on a free transfer. We've got Freddie the Forster in on a free transfer. Yves Bissouma coming in from Brighton. Richarlison coming in from Everton. Tyrrell Ashcroft in from Reading. Fucking scumbag stealing all our kids. Worse than Southampton at Man City.
Nearly as bad as Southampton. Yeah, nearly as bad.
Yeah, but we don't get anything for ours. Josh Keeley in from St Patrick's Athletic in Bonny Old Island. Clement Longley in from Barcelona. Jed Spence stolen from under the nose of Nottingham Forest. So in anger, Forest have gone and signed 23 players. Destiny Udoji from Udinese. Christian Romero signed on a permanent deal. And Will Lancashire from Sheffield United. Out of the door has gone anyone I know. Not really. Stephen Bergwijn has gone to Ajax. Cameron Carter-Vickers has gone to Celtic. Jack Clark has gone on loan to Sunderland. Troy Parrott has gone out on loan again to Preston this time. Dane Scarlett has gone out on loan. Joe Rodon has gone out on loan after barely ever kicking a ball from in 3 years. Giovanni Lo Celso has gone to Villarreal. Destiny Udogie has come in from Udinese, gone straight back out on loan to Udinese. Tanguy Ndombele out to Napoli on loan. Reguilon out to Atletico on loan. Harry Winks today signed a deal on loan with Sampdoria. And then the other person ain't got a clue who he is, so he's a youngster. What are we saying with Spurs? Spurs is a tricky one.
No, not really.
No, you don't.
Let's sign Richarlison, mate. It's a solid D.
I think when you look around the Richarlison one, the Cristiano Romero, obviously we knew that was a done deal. It was assigned with an obligatory loan with an obligatory signing.
With the thing on it, yeah.
Yeah. Perisic on a free transfer is a good deal because you know what you'll get, and it's a Conte team, and Conte loves him, and he'll get the best out of him. Jed Spence, I feel, is a bit of a bizarre one because I don't see him playing huge amounts. But if, you know, he's young, he's 20, 21, if they can mould him and then get the best out of him in a couple of years. Clement Longley, be interesting to see. He struggled to adapt to the physicality in bloody Spain. So
that's what I mean. They signed what was left of Clement Longley, you mean?
Yeah.
Just some cartilage and flesh.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there was any cartilage. I don't think there may have
That's
been
why I said
bone fragment.
the remnants.
Yeah. Bissouma, really good signing. Richarlison, Richarlison's a good signing if you're not paying 60 million quid for him.
If you're picking him up on a free, maybe.
Yeah, if you could have got him for 20, then fair enough. But yeah, I think the problem is there's quite clearly a very good player there, but he's just a prick.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, cool. Spurs, go for it.
D. Sign Richarlison.
Are we serious? Oh, right, okay. I'm going to have to put a caveat on that because otherwise I'll forget. D.
If
Signed.
they hadn't have signed Richarlison, I'd have given him a B.
Cool. And I'll
I'd
put
have said
B there.
good work.
Good work, but you spoil all of your hard work.
Yeah, exactly. It's like finishing the exam paper and wiping your ass with it. It's just you spoil all your hard work, haven't you? Spoil every bit of it.
Cool. West Ham. In with Naif Ugird. In with Alphonse Areola, which is the bit around the nipple, apparently. In with Flynn Downs from Swansea, some guy from Coleraine, Gianluca Scamacca, which 6'5", 100% at David Moyes signing.
100%.
Maxwell Cornet, 100% at Dave Moyes signing because very quick and can crossable. Thilo Kehrer, a ball playing centre back, definitely not a David Moyes signing. Although scored an own goal yesterday, so bit of a David Moyes signing.
Gave away a penalty as well, didn't you?
No,
think.
not
Was
yesterday.
just
Not
own goal.
yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
just the own goal yesterday. Just the own goal. Emerson in from Chelsea. Didn't rate him when he was at Chelsea. Don't think he's going to be any better for them.
Nope.
Lucas Paqueta from Lyon. People raving about him. He's looked good for Lyon.
Looked good at Milan as well. I could not understand why Milan moved him on, but maybe
Yeah.
that says something.
Yeah, well, exactly. And he went from Milan to Lyon. You know, it's a drop. Loads of money has been spent on him. It will be interesting to see how he gets on. Physicality, change up. But equally, they've already got Lanzini. They've already got Fornells. He's another one of those players. He won't play out wide either.
No.
He'll play as a central player, which means Fornells, who's looked very good over the last year or so, looks as though he could be pushed out. Be interested to see what happens there. Out the door, Ryan Fredericks, bonus. Mark Noble retired. Andrei Yarmolenko, always injured. When he played, baller, but always injured. Arthur Masuaku, Besiktas. It's a Diop. Nikola Vlasic going to Torino on loan. Do not understand that.
That makes no sense. No.
And then the other guys are all youngsters going out on loan here, there, and everywhere. West Ham, I think their deals. Well, Melgaard's back in. We're going to win the league. West Ham, where are we going with that? From a personal point of view, I think the good outweighs the bad in their deals. There are a couple of question marks over a couple of them, but
Once again, it's another good window because they've kept hold of Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Who's by far and away their best player. Yeah. Good outweighs the bad, but there's just not enough of the good. Needed to build, needed to improve, and they've just not done it.
Well, I think the difference is though. I look at that from a personal point of view. I look at that and I think, right, okay,
yeah,
Ryan Fredericks has barely ever played. Mark Noble barely played last season anyway. Was back up all the while.
Yeah.
Yarmolenko's gone. They've replaced Yarmolenko with arguably Cornet or Paqueta. Depending on
Cornet.
where Cornet more likely, but Yarmolenko played in that sort of 10 role off a striker a couple of times as well. They let go Masuaku, barely picked him in the end anyway, but they brought in Emerson. Vlasic is gone. I suppose Vlasic is probably more likely to be the Paqueta switch up, isn't he? They didn't have a striker for most of last season unless Antonio was fit, and they brought in Scamacca. And Agerd is meant to be a very good centre back. I've not really seen much of him yet, but meant to be very good.
Likewise.
So I think they have strengthened. It's just, is it enough?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, is it enough? I'm not sure it is. Scamacca hasn't. Don't know. To me, the little bit I've seen, I don't think he's going to work out to be a success there somehow. Because they're not willing to play the brand of football that's going to make him a success. just getting crosses in. They just don't seem to be doing that.
No,
Can't quite work it out. Why not either?
no.
Yeah, as you say, yeah, just I don't know. I just don't know if they've brought the right players, but
Yeah.
it remains to be seen. Yeah, as I say, good deals in there. It's a improvements on what they've got. Uh, don't know. Do I be really boring and just give them a B and just say, well, yeah, it is. It is an improvement. Or yeah, I'm going to say B minus. B minus.
B minus.
Yeah.
Cool. And then final team, Wolverhampton Wanderers. In with Nathan Collins from Burnley. In with Goncalo Guedes from Valencia. In with Mateus Nunes from Sporting. In with Sasha Kalajic from Stuttgart. Out with a lot of people. Roman Seiss gone. They've let that what's his name?
Kijana Hoover.
Keanu Hoover, that's it, yeah. So I got halfway through the words and my face
right.
just went into spasm.
Yeah.
Keanu Hoover.
Youngest player to play for Liverpool at the time when he played for money.
Yeah, and been binned out to PSV on loan. But yeah, Roman Seiss gone. Obviously, they've just offloaded Willy Bolly as well. They've just offloaded Leander Dendoncker. Connor Cody's gone. Morgan Gibbs-White, although most of the time out on loan, but Morgan Gibbs-White. I did not realise that Patrick Crotone was still a player of theirs until this summer. He signed for Como, who I don't even think are in Serie B anymore. But yeah, I mean, they've lost the whole defence. And they've got Nathan Collins.
Possibly. Yeah.
They've brought in a guy who just got relegated. But I think going forward, they're good signings. Guedes and Nunes have both looked, when I saw a little highlights yesterday, they both looked very good for Wolves.
Yeah, I don't rate that Guedes at all. Don't rate him. No, I've seen him play a few times and just doesn't. Don't know. I'm not sold on him. Having Pedro Neto back fit as well after having an injury hit season last season is like a new signing.
Yeah.
And that Nunes looks class, and they've managed to hold on to Neves as well. So that's another. Sometimes the players that haven't gone.
Yeah.
Just you should have moved on Adama Traore. I don't know why he's still there.
I think
that's a joke.
I genuinely think they thought that Barca would take him.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Didn't, and nobody else, because he's on because Wolves gave him stupid amount of money, and Wolves want a fairly hefty amount of money for him. When Spurs were talking about buying him for 25-30 million, and they went no and loaned him to Barca instead, you're like,
what are you doing?
No,
what are you doing?
No one's going to pick him up now. 25-30 million, and you've said no. He's going to be a free transfer in 2 years' time after sitting on the bench a lot for Wolves, and he'll end up at a decent, half decent team, and he'll play 40% of games because he'll be free, so he'll be able to go to someone half decent because they won't mind not paying for him. But
yeah, for me, it's saying losing Dendoncker and stuff. Yeah, brought in a couple of good players, but just they're gonna be weak at the back. I think that unless they outscore teams, they're in trouble this season.
Yeah.
From what I've seen as well, watching them at the weekend against Newcastle, I don't like what I saw.
And I think the big issue is there's going to be a hell of a lot more pressure now on Ruben Neves because João Moutinho's legs are going.
Yeah, they're gone. Yeah, they're rapidly as well. He looked really off it.
Yeah.
And that's not his fault.
No, 36, isn't he? 36.
Something like that. Yeah. Still trying to get about in centre midfield in the Premier League. Sorry,
and he's only little in the first place, so he's got more.
Yeah.
He's got to cover more.
That's what I mean. Those little legs. Oh no, I can't keep up.
Confirmation: Artemelo has signed for Liverpool on loan.
Intriguing, very intriguing. I look forward to hearing about what a baller he is from all the Liverpool fans.
Yeah, until the first 3 games of the season he plays. where he then looks
I'm
well
sure
off the pace. There's
Yeah.
no option to buy either, which is bizarre because when they first signed Thiago, everyone had seen what a good player Thiago was previously and at Bayern Munich. He went to Liverpool, he wasn't on it. He looked off the pace, the pressure was on, the speed was there. You then get him after 6 months, looked good.
Yeah.
Arthur's not. He's not going to have. There's no benefit to Liverpool. This only benefits Juve.
Yeah, but
If
at
he
the same,
plays.
I mean, Liverpool needed someone in centre midfield, and he does fit the profile of what they were looking for. So, like, that's the only benefit, until Thiago's back fit, until Naby Keita's back fit, until Curtis Jones is back fit. It's like I say, it ticks a box, but it ticks it in crayon.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh, and that's someone else they've offloaded, haven't they? They've offloaded Fabio Silva after paying all that money for him. Fabio Silva's gone out on loan to Anderlecht.
Yeah, no one's not worked out. D plus for Wolves. Brought in some positive players going forward, but they've weakened themselves in this window.
Yeah, I agree. So that is the transfer roundup. That's transfer windows roundup. Obviously, there is still an hour left of the window. Sean, you wanted a new feature. Are you still up for the new feature, or do you want to save it for the next DTM?
I think we'll save it.
Yeah?
I think we'll save it. I think it's all past our bedtimes.
Yeah. So what we will do, guys, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand you over to. I mean, we've been going through and we've been talking about these people and what's occurring and the transfer deals and everything else. And I've just realised I haven't got Twitch open. What we will do is we will go and we will find a true hero of this kind of stuff, because I know he's streaming.
I'd be surprised if he would.
And what we're going to do is we're going to go and drop a raid in on Fabrizio Romano, because he's streaming on Twitter and he has a few more people than us watching. So you won't get any interaction with him, but what you'll get is more up-to-date stuff for the end of the transfer window. So let's go join Fabrizio. He's in the Heineken shop in Holland once again. And we will see you hopefully next week. But that's to be confirmed. If not to next week, Sean will be drumming.
TBC.
Sean will be drumming and I'll be probably hosting FMTM at some point before I defend my title. Until then, though, people, peace out from me. And a little
big au revoir for me.
And a big au revoir. See you later, guys.